This is the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
About to bring gold back to Lawrence County.
Your home for the County of Champions.
And how sweet it is! A state gold medal for the Union Scotties!
And the Neshannock Lancers are your 2A softball champions. The trophy lifted high.
The 10th seed Union Scotties are WPIAL champions.
Not a Cinderella story, a championship story here.
And your 2023 WPIAL 2A Girls Champions, the Neshannock Wildcats.
The pitch from Bruce, here it comes. Swing and miss! Union wins it! The Union Scotties have rallied to win the WPIAL Championship.
The top local athletes and the top sports moments all featured here, live or archived at lcsportsnet.com.
Work it down inside and alley-oop the young gun.
Approach. She'll strike it. And score!
Featuring over 100 broadcasts of county events in over a dozen sports. Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.
Coming to you live from Neshannock High School, it's WPIAL baseball action. Coming to you on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP, as we have a Class 3A Section 1 battle. The Neshannock Lancers hosting the Ellwood City Wolverines. Tonight's broadcast on the Lawrence County SportsNet, Trib Live High School Sports Network, and if you're watching on Game Changer, it's brought to you by Maley Chiropractic, by MVP Insurance, by Castle Asphalt, by Luxembourg Garbett Kelly and George, by the Newcastle Transit Authority, by Toshiba Business Solutions, by Medora Bonner Law, by Works in Progress Paint Services, by Penn Ohio Bottled Water, by Gem Builders Incorporated, by Doran Concrete, the Red Zone, Firefly Solar, the City Rescue Mission, Something for Your Wall Photography, the Tri-County Principals Association, and the Lawrence County Community Action Partnership. Eric Thomas alongside. I'm James Dotson here at Mike Bubba Kirkwood Field on the turf. Believe it or not, the sixth game of the year for both these teams, but it's the first home game for Neshannock. Even with the turf, the outfield has been, unfortunately, a mess for them to have to deal with, getting it all straightened out best that they could here. It's good enough, as Coach Quilero put it here today, and they're ready to play ball and finally ready to christen the turf for the 2024 season here against a local rival in Ellwood City. Eric, first of all, welcome to Neshannock baseball.
Yeah, let's see what both teams have under the hood here tonight. Ellwood City hitting sub 200. Neshannock both teams are trying to find their offense a little bit early on in this season. That's going to come. The pitching hasn't been that bad for either side, but both teams really want to start hitting the ball consistently. Neshannock a little bit better off maybe top to bottom. Cole Hutchison at the top of the lineup is going to be, I think, the guy to watch here this evening for Neshannock. If he starts getting on base, they can maybe generate a couple runs. And Ellwood City's just really looking for somebody 1 through 9 that is going to step up. A lot of strikeouts in that team, but they really just want to find somebody maybe middle of the order, maybe even towards the bottom where it seems like some of the power is for this team to start generating some runs.
Yeah, and I think you kind of hit the nail on the head right there. It's which team is going to be most consistent 1 through 9, because the game that we saw in Neshannock against Mohawk, for example, Neshannock got the leadoff batter on in 6 out of 7 innings, but only one time did that leadoff batter end up scoring, and that was because of a leadoff home run in that inning, the only home run on either side of the team in another sophomore. And you're going to hear the word sophomore a lot tonight on both of these sides. You mentioned Cole Hutchinson, Anthony Aiken, who has the home run. They're both sophomores that are leading the way offensively for this Neshannock team. On the other side, sophomores like Jacob Biskup leading the way as the leadoff man. Jordan Keller, the sophomore catcher for Ellwood City as well. But as you mentioned, a lot of below Mendoza line batting averages on both of these sides, but a good part of it, you kind of alluded to it, some tough competition. I mean, you look at Ellwood City having to face that incredible 1-2 punch at Riverside in Lucarelli and Hare. That's going to be trouble all the way through Class 3A. Neshannock, their non-section games against a couple of great pitchers, and their series against Mohawk. Again, probably one of the top 2 teams you're expecting are going to be Riverside and Mohawk coming into this one. So no shame in those tough starts, but I think both these teams, both coaches working around the lineup and trying to figure out what's going to work best.
And, when you're in the state of Pennsylvania, I don't think you really have to – you're not living under a rock to know this. The weather is never good this time of year. It's hit or miss whether or not you're even going to get games in. It takes teams a while to get invested in the sport, and you're talking about a lot of guys that jump right from the basketball court right into playing baseball, basically warming up or getting in the gym to practice indoors. days after a basketball season ends. And if you're Ellwood City, that took a little bit of time because they got all the way into the second round of states. But, you know, you have Joe Roth, who's not in the lineup tonight, swimming and all that. There's so many variables that go into teams starting to play their best baseball. And in the state of Pennsylvania, sometimes unless you have that elite talent, like we've seen some of these WPIAL teams like North Allegheny in the past have, or Pine Richland, for example, it's going to take a couple of games to figure out what your 1 through 9 is. You're going to shuffle it around a little bit. You're going to try to figure out who your starter is, your ace, right off the bat. But, you know, the lineup and the hitting is going to come. It's going to at some point happen. You just hope that it happens later in the season possibly, and maybe you get, you know, hot at the right time and guys start hitting the ball at the right time.
Let's take a look at the starting 9, as you alluded to there, for Ellwood City under Coach Brad Welsh. Try to get, there we go. Let's get the starting 9 up there for Coach Welsh here in a moment, but we'll read down through it. Jacob Biskup leading off. Isaiah Lutz, the shortstop, batting second. Jordan Keller, the catcher, hits third. Sam Landis in right field, batting fourth. Aaron Lake, the number 5 batter. The number 6 batter is Will Nardone, the first baseman. DH is Gordon Boker, Maykel Cuevas, and Nate Kennedy rounding out the starting 9. That's your Dorn Concrete starting lineup. Don't let just anyone lay the foundation for your home or business. Visit dornconcrete.com for your free estimate here today. Eric, you have the defensive alignment for the Neshannock Lancers.
Let's start left to right in the outfield. Hutchison, Rickle, and Eakin go left to right. You have Rin and Valentine at the corners. Wilson behind the plate. Pallarino and Mazzani are in the middle infield, and Dom Cubelos is going to get the start here tonight for Neshannock, 1-1 on the season. Interestingly enough, Ryan Whittemere, who has been one of those guys in the lineup for Ellwood City, not in the starting lineup tonight. He's got 2 RBIs, tied for a team high. He actually tweaked an ankle, so he's going to be out tonight. And that's a big blow because the bottom 2 in their order has been the 2 best run producers so far early on in the season.
Yeah, so Roth out with a hamstring injury and Widmeyer out with the ankle. How about this? First pitch delivery brought to you by Penn Ohio Bottled Water, and Jacob Biskup comes out swinging right away and gets the leadoff base hit. Your first pitch delivery brought to you by Penn Ohio Bottled Water. Bottled water delivery service right to your door.
Already starting to see the effects of that outfield, too, because as soon as that ball hit, it planted. So guys patrolling the outfield tonight going to have to watch that. It was a little slick on the edges on the outside of the softball field walking up here tonight to do this, but you're just seeing that ball plant right in the outfield. No hop, no roll, nothing. You're going to have to be on it tonight and make a charge if you're playing in the outfield.
Yeah, not a lot of extra bases, but also means you could have outfielders going for some dives that way as the lefty Dom Cubelos throws, and second pitch is going to be bunted right back to the mound. Good turn and throw to first to retire Lutz on the sacrifice, but 2 pitches and already a runner in scoring position.
Good job to manufacture. Advance the runner early on. Try to get something across early. Get some early momentum if you're Ellwood City.
Both these teams so fundamentally sound. Ellwood City always a fundamentally sound team for sure. The way that they run the bases and the way that they sacrifice over as necessary. Here's Jordan Keller watching a first pitch breaking ball outside for ball 1. Our umpires tonight, by the way, Rick Gabriel behind the plate and Doug Brown on the bases.
2-man, you won't see that in the playoffs. You'll see 3 men, and state finals you'll see all bases covered. But early on in the season, a lot of onus on those guys to make right calls, be in the right position. You know, interestingly, too, you saw Ellwood City on the first 2 pitches of this game jump on Cubelos, too. He goes off speed outside that time. They lay off. This is already showing a team that wants to jump on him early in Ellwood City, but third pitch trying to stay patient.
Fourth pitch is going to be laced towards right, and it's going to drift just foul. Speedy Anthony Eakin almost got all the way to it. But I'll tell you what, kind of interesting, too, because when you look at it, you know, normally if you're jumping like that, Eric, it's somebody who is, you know, strike, strike, strike. Cubelos at times, yes, but only 54% strike percentage. That's pretty interesting. You're going first contact that quickly, swinging the bat.
Both these teams hovering around 50+% in terms of strikes thrown.
So 1-1 to count to Keller. This one turned on, grounded towards third. Jake Rinn playing third today, throws across the diamond. Valentine brings it back over, trying to get the lead runner, and they're going to get him. A 5-3-6 double play as Pallarino was covering And an early Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game nomination right there, is maybe trying to stretch that a little bit too hard, was Biscup.
Yeah, good start by Ellwood City. If you are going to get on base, try to advance the runner over fast, but excellent fielding. That's going to be the difference in this game that we see early on, too. The turf, the conditions on the middle infield, and the conditions around the mound compared to what it is in the outfield. Let's see how these defenses play this up tonight. That was a very excellent play to get out of the early threat by Ellwood City.
And it ends up being just a 5-pitch inning as a result as well. As we flip the script over to the Neshannock batting order, let's take a look at Neshannock's starting lineup here today. Again, brought to you by Doran Concrete for Coach Colero. There you take a look at it there with Hutchinson leading off, Pallarino hitting second, fellow junior Dom Cubelis, and Jake Rinn hitting in the third and fourth spot. Designated hitter is senior Boyd Kurtz. He's hitting for the center fielder Adam Rickel. Valentine, Mezzanot, Eakin, and Wilson rounding out the batting order for the Neshannock Lancers for Coach John Quilero. He's coaching at third. Kurt Latta coaching over at first base. Let's again take a look at the Medore Bonner Law defensive alignment. Give them a shout out, MedoreBonnerLaw.com, your community firm with a personal connection and individualized service.
Biscup, Cuevas, and Landis in the outfield. You have Lake and Dardone at the corners. Lutz Kennedy from short to second. Keller behind the plate, and it is Andrews on the bump tonight for Ellwood City. Interestingly enough, too, with this Neshannock lineup, Cole Hutchison batted ninth early in the year. They flipped him now to lead off. It's paid off. He's had a hit. He had a walk against Mohawk. He's got 2 hits against Mohawk on the second. He's getting a little warm right now, and that's going to be a good start for Neshannock to come right back, put one of your best hitters right now at the top. Plus, he also has 4 stolen bases, so watch him if he gets on the base path tonight.
Yeah, speedy sophomore. He is part of the cross-country team as well here for Neshannock. And as you kind of alluded to, one of just 2 players on both teams, I believe, who are over 500 for the on-base percentage on the season. Guess what? They're hitting first and third for Neshannock on the day. But you kind of mentioned it. The 195 batting average as a team for Ellwood City. Neshannock 165 coming into this one. I think whatever team can string hits together is going to be the one that's going to come out on top here tonight.
And really, if you get the top of the order, if you get Hutchison on and he can advance, and you get one guy just to knock him in or advance him over, you know, at the bottom of your order you have Eakin, so it's going to be a minute until they get to him. But you sandwich your lineup around your 2 best hitters, and we'll see if they can try to manufacture something in between. That's going to be the key for this Neshannock offense, is getting hits in the middle of this lineup.
Andrews, his 4th appearance, 3rd start. He's got, in those 3 appearances, a win, a loss, and a save. He had the save against Quaker Valley, and again, an interesting scenario that they've not played the second game of that series against Quaker Valley. It is still delayed with that terrible weather last week. They went up to Slippery Rock to get 1 game in. I think it was a 38 degrees at the time of first pitch at 7 o'clock. I can only imagine. I don't know. Brad Windhurst, I'm sure, is listening. He can. I'm not sure if he's thawed out by now. Let's put it that way.
Hey, kudos to these schools that step up. We had talked about a potential contingency if this game couldn't be played here tonight, and places stepping up to help these teams get games in. That's a big plus.
3-1 now as Andrews fires over the middle, trying to hold his swing and unable to do so. It's Hutchinson, so count runs full to the leadoff batter in the bottom of the first inning. Hutchinson hitting .364, team best on the year, way up on the plate for the payoff pitch, and it's going to miss outside for ball 4, so a leadoff walk, and both teams get their leadoff batter on base.
Patient at the plate that time. Let it come to you. Now Pallarino, he's one for his last 5, so he's due here for a hit. And you got center field, outfield playing away too, pretty deep compared to where Neshannock was defensively in the top half of the first. This is going to be, again, the key, the start of this key stretch for this Neshannock lineup. Can they get something, say 2 through 5, 2 through 6 in that range, and then get to Eakin at the bottom of the lineup?
So I wonder if we would see Pallarino square to bunt like Lutz did on the other side, the shortstop hitting second. Not doing so, and this one again misses downstairs. 2-0 the count to Pallarino.
You can see Hutchinson at first taking a nice step off first. He's itching to get to second base. Said it, 4 stolen bases, leads the team. Got to contend or contest for him.
Breaking ball misses upstairs, so both batters that Owens has faced, he's down 3-0 in the count. Not the way, especially on the road, that you want to be coming out throwing as he now delivers the 3-0, and this one catches the top of the zone, 3-1 the count. And also, too, again, turf mound, different from what you have at Ewing Park. You wonder how used to it you have been. I mean, I know Andrews closed at Slippery Rock, but still.
Yeah, that's an interesting switch between in and outfield here. It's a gorgeous stadium. I mean, no question, one of the best I've seen in the short time I've been in these parts of the state, but it has to be a different feel under your feet, under your cleats.
Runner goes, and it's going to be a ground ball right in the hole that was vacated by the shortstop, Isaiah Lutz, and the ball died in the outfield. Hutchinson may have had a chance to get there, but plays it safe, and 2 on, nobody out for Neshannock. The hit and run works.
Sure did, and you saw Lutz make a break towards second base, and the ball just had a different idea. It took a hop right past him, his momentum taking him towards second, didn't have time to really stop and turn back towards the ball. But you said it too, and we saw it in the top of the first, James, the outfield here. I mean, anything hitting that outfield is just going to die out there. So you have to be on it. That ball is not going to roll very far the way that the grass is and the way all the precipitation we've had has affected this outfield. You're going to have to go get that thing and make a play on it if it's coming out your way in the outfield.
First pitch swinging as the 3-hitter Cubelis fouled back to the screen. Only hitting .273, but well over .500 on the on-base percentage because he's drawn a team-high 6 walks.
6 walks, has a triple. 2 doubles, too. He's your extra base guy. Perfect opportunity here with 2 on.
He has 3 extra base hits. How about this? Ellwood City has a team 1 extra base hit, and that guy's not in the lineup tonight is Widmeyers. This one's fisted back to the screen. Good job by Owen Andrews to come back and throw a couple of quick strikes. Hutchinson walked. He's at second. Pallarino at first. Nobody down here in the bottom of the first. Andrews kicks, delivers. This one's fisted back up the middle, right at the shortstop. Lutz flips to second for 1 on to first, but not in time to get the speedy Dom Cubelis. Fielder's choice, 6'4", retires Pallarino, but it's runners at the corners.
Too much speed down the baseline. To turn 2 was a good opportunity, but the more important thing here if you're Neshannock early on is the guy on third base, and only 1 out. So they've done their damage here. They've done their part. And there's that 2, 3, and now we get to 4 with Rind. See if they can still generate something here.
Jake Rind, also a junior, so you went junior at 2, 3, 4. Watch his first pitch outside for ball 1. It's got to be, if you're a Neshannock fan, I'm sure you're tired of hearing it by now, but Cubelis and Rind, part of the Pony League World Series team for Youngstown a few years ago that made it all the way to the finals in the COVID year. Cubelis off towards second base, and faking the throw will allow Cubelis to get in there safely with the swiped bag. 2-0 the count, and 2 ducks on the pond now for the Lancers. Here's the 2-0. Hit the other way towards right field. Land is settling under it, but he has to make the catch backpedaling, and that will allow Hutchinson to score easily and Cubelis to advance 90 feet to third base as well. So a sac fly for your first Toshiba RBI.
Good job by Rind to get contact, too, and push that out towards right field. Deep enough that the throw wasn't going to really affect the runner, and an excellent job of base running and being aggressive on the bags early on for Neshannock. That's an excellent way to generate that run.
Second ribby of the year, and first pitch swinging is Boyd Kurtz. This one off the edge of the bat. Diving attempt. Did he hold on to it? No, he did not. Jacob Biskup had it and lost it. He kind of stuck in the ground as he dove for it. Couldn't get it, and now Kurtz gets his second ribby of the season, driving in Cubelis.
It's going to be tough again in that outfield. Making a break on the ball. Good diving effort, though, to try to get it by Biskup, but it's going to be tough footing out there in that outfield the entire night. We're going to see that time and time again. As the sun goes down, it gets a little cooler here tonight. That grass or that outfield gets a little damp. It's going to be tough. Not quite at that part of the year yet where the sun's going to stay out all night.
Valentine first pitch swinging here. Strike 1. to Gio Valentine. He was the hero on the ice. 2 goals and an assist in the third period as Neshannock getting their 3rd PIHL championship in the last 4 seasons. Incredible stuff for him, the all-time leading scorer now in Neshannock program history. Swings through this fastball, 0-2. Snap throw down to first, just getting his hand back in is Kurtz back at first. But I mean, we talk about golf and baseball swing comparisons. I can only imagine going from hockey to baseball.
And you don't see that jump much either. I mean, you see guys that play both sports, football and baseball, especially if you're a pitcher, can go hand in hand, but you don't normally see that jump hockey to baseball. That's an interesting winter to spring transition.
And we're going to have our first trip to the mound of the evening coming here in the first inning. Interesting choice for consultation time, your LGKG trip to the mound. Visit them online at lgkg.com for your free consultation. That was not Coach Wise who went out there. Believe that's Coach Welsh, but I'm not going to put my name to that one. Welsh coaching first today for Ellwood City. Interesting, you have an 0-2 count. Here to Valentine. Misses up and in, count now 1-2. Coach Q gives the numbers from third base. Ellwood City staff giving the numbers from the dugout with the good old wrist coach. See if Kurtz might be off and running here on the 1-2. He is not. Breaking ball chopped towards third, but foul. Count will remain 1-2 to Valentine. First 2 batters on base in the inning for Neshannock. Both those runners have scored. Throw over to first, and Kurt's able to get back in time. Good job by Nardone to snag that, Eric. Otherwise, that could have been a couple of extra bases. A lot of room in foul territory.
Yeah, there's big gaps in between the benches and the on-deck circle area, the dirt, and the baseline, too. So you're right, that would have been a problem. You can tell, though, that Ellwood early on in this game, they're a little put off by having those runners on. The speed of this Neshannock team, don't need anybody advancing.
This one's again fouled back and out of play. And a perfect example, like Kurt's not the fastest runner. He's a designated hitter, but he's also one of the smartest players on the team, and normally he's able to get that quick first jump to make up for maybe a half step slower in speed. The only reason I'm saying he's slower in speed is because he's not up here to beat me up. 1-2 again from Andrews to Valentine. Drilled towards left field, going back on it is Biskup, giving chase, and he's going to run out of real estate. It one hops the wall. Kurtz rounding third, heading to the plate, and he's going to score without a throw. A throw goes to third, and no one's there. That's going to allow Valentine to advance a 90 feet extra all the way to third. A monster moonshot of a double here on Solar Eclipse Day, and that's 3 runs here in the first for the Lancers.
Now, and a lot of times, James, you'll see young pitchers, if they are a little unsure of their stuff at the moment, they're trying to get that guy that's on the first bag, on first base. And you saw that in that last at-bat there with Valentine, and he just stayed patient at the plate. He was watching everything, timing out his hits and making good contact even on the foul tips. And Neshannock has seen something here a little early on that is going to end up being a factor with Andrews here throwing. He was trying to get him on first base instead of going right after the hitter to get out of the inning, and that's a little something to keep an eye on.
Neshannock looking for their pitch. Luka Mesnot looking to do something that he's not done this year, get on base. Only 4 plate appearances on the year for the freshman. Started at catcher against Mohawk. Starting at second base tonight is Mesnot. Facing a 1-1 count now for Andrews, as this one's kind of half swung at and fouled back and then out of play. Strike 2 the call. But you can see the pitch count already. 27 pitches thrown now for Andrews in the first inning. And flip that. How many did Cubelis throw in the top of the first?
5.
Yeah.
Yep. Tell you what, on a humid night, that ball, that Valentine hit is gone.
He got all of it. How about that? That's only his second hit of the year. He now stands at third, a 1-2 count to Neshannock, and this one's off the end of the bat towards right center field. Giving chase is Cuevas, but he's going to give off for Landis to make the catch for the third out of the inning. But damage done, 3 runs, 3 hits. There was an error and a runner left in scoring position, but it's 3-0 Neshannock at the end of the first inning. We'll be back in a moment on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Thank you for calling AXE. Where can we take you today?
To work, to the store, to Grandma's house. AXE can get you there, but it's much more than a ride. It's a joy ride.
I'm helping people. I'm getting them out of their house. I'm taking them to their doctors, to the grocery store.
They say I'm entertaining. Okay, we laugh, we joke, we sing, we tell stories.
They're like family to us.
Even if it's the same day, to schedule your joy ride, call AXE today.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Mathur and David Verratti want to provide you with the level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of the locations in Zeno-Leopold or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win. Proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County SportsNet.
One of the keys to the game that we're going to look at here in tonight's Keys to the Game brought to you by Works in Progress Paint Services. It's all Ellwood City tried the small ball, but they ended up getting themselves into a double play. Neshannock, how about consistency? You know, wanting to get a couple of hits thrown together. I think advantaged Neshannock here in the first inning, Eric.
Played their game, got guys on base, advanced runners, put some speed on the base path early on. That's exactly what they want, and it's going to give Cubella some confidence on the mound, too. I mean, he worked through that top of the order pretty quick in the top half of the first, and he's got to be feeling even better now with a 3 spot.
It's going to be 4, 5, 6 Landis up to bat. Landis, Lake, and Nardone. This one misses outside, evens the count at 1-1.
Landis leading the team in walks with 5. So be careful how you pitch him. He's a patient hitter.
Lefty on lefty. He swings at this 1-1 pitch. Rickle kind of lost his footing. Now makes a diving effort, and he makes the catch. Out in center field. Turned disaster into triumph as he's able to regain the balance and make the catch for the first out of the inning.
Now, this outfield, I mean, this is now the 4th or 5th time I've said this, is causing havoc on these guys. Getting a break on the ball cleanly, making a play. The ball just not going to go anywhere. It's not going to roll anywhere when it hits the grass out there. It's tough footing out there, and that's an excellent job in center. Good break on the ball and stuck with it. Pulling it in for the nice out.
Now Aaron Lake to the plate. Third baseman hitting 5th here today. Neshannock already with a couple of potential Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game nominations.
It's interesting. This Ellwood lineup, 3 guys with 8 strikeouts, and Lake is one of them.
Hits this one to short on the ground. Taken care of at short by Pallarino, the Valentine. 2 up, 2 down for Neshannock here in the top of the second inning. Or for Ellwood City batting, I should say. Will Nardone coming to the plate. And here's another perfect example. Someone who is looking for his first hit on the year is Nardone. But again, with 4 walks, a couple of hit batsmen, .429 on base percentage. Cabellas kicks and delivers, and skipping over nearly HVP number 3 for Nardone.
Seen a lot of that early on in the season across the board. Pitchers just trying to find their control early in the season. It's tough. Weather, everything kind of dictates it, and there you go.
Right on cue, Nardone says, I don't want that offer in my stat column anymore. He gets a 2-out single. And that'll bring Gordon Bacour to the plate, and this is his first plate appearance of the season. Just tuning in, talked about in the pregame show a couple of the potential starters for the Wolverines. Not in the lineup tonight with injury, That's Joseph Roth out with a hamstring, and tweaked an ankle did Ryan Widmeyer. So hopefully get them back on the diamond here soon enough as Bacor swings through this first pitch offering for strike one.
Yeah, Roth and Widmeyer leading the team with 2 RBI apiece. Both his RBIs for Widmeyer came in the last game against Quaker Valley. They lost that game, but you want that. You get those guys that start finding their rhythm, and then at the bottom of the lineup, sometimes you can turn it over and then get back to the top. It sort of manifests itself, and I like how both teams have really good hitters at the bottom of their order too, and you kind of go double leadoff in that sense, and especially with Neshannock, and you got Eakin at the bottom, and then you got Hutchison right back at the top. That 1-2 punch is something tough, and that can really get your lineup going. And I think Ellwood City's trying to follow the same blueprint and let that bottom of the order manifest.
How about this? A 0-2 pitch that's hit into center field for a 2-out single. So back-to-back hits now for Ellwood City. And as you mentioned, that game where Widmeyer got the 2 hits for Quaker Valley, yes, that's I'd say their only section win of the year after the 2 losses to Riverside in the opening series. How about that? Your first plate appearance of the young season. Get one into center field, and Makel Cuevas coming to the plate now with 2 down, the freshman. Off the end of the bat, back up the middle, Pallarino will take it himself, step on the bag. 6 unassisted to end the inning, so a couple of hits in the frame, but both those runners left stranded on the bags. To the bottom of the second inning we go, and Neshannock holding on to a 3-0 lead. Back in a moment on lcsportsnet.com.
Firefly Solar is a proud sponsor of LC Sportsnet. From our regional business partnership to our community benefits agreement with local schools, Firefly Solar is dedicated to being an outstanding neighbor and beacon of economic support for the Lawrence County community. Let's create a stronger energy infrastructure while preserving the agricultural beauty of Lawrence County. Visit fireflysolarpa.com for more info about the Firefly Solar project. Firefly Solar, creating a brighter future in Lawrence County.
Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition.
So Neshannock with the 3-0 advantage. Both teams with 3 hits in the game, but it's been the efficiency pitching that's been the main key so far here for Neshannock especially. Cubelis has thrown 17 pitches through 2 innings. Andrews 28 in the first inning alone.
Good defensive play in the middle infield too, and a little high inside to Eakin that time. And this again is a tough spot for Ellwood City to be in. Andrews working quick, and you want to get Eakin here with Hutchinson due up soon. You want to get him out and not allow that 2 out of 3 that you're going to face in this inning. You put these 2 guys on, they're going to be trouble.
Popped up on the right side of the field. Settling under it is Landis to make the catch for the first out of the inning. Aiken, who had the only home run of the season for Neshannock. It was opposite field home run out there at Mohawk. Went opposite field there, but just got under it for the first out.
And Hunter Wilson's another guy here, James, that's looking for his first hit of the season, too. And he's 12 plate appearances, struck out 6 times, doesn't have an RBI, but no hits, and he's itching to get that going. And here's another spot in this lineup, because, again, Hutchinson coming up next. Get somebody on for him. You got something cooking.
Swings through that 1-0 pitch. Evens the count at 1-1 for Willie, as they call him, though. Hey, you got to love it. The kid who's the bullpen catcher for a couple of years now gets his chance after senior catcher last year of Nate Rind has graduated, moved on. Willie working behind the dish and working up the middle, but a diving catch made. How about that one by Zaya Lutz? We got 3 Web Gem nominees already, and we've just played 2 innings here, Eric.
That's a heck of a play. Made a great jump on the ball. Almost like it slowed down on the way to him, and he full extension that time. These middle infielders are showing some leather here early on in this game.
2 up, 2 down now in the bottom of the second, and Cole Hutchinson, the leadoff batter, steps back to the plate. That one misses upstairs, ball 1. Interesting there. Andrews kind of paused mid-windup there, Eric.
Yeah, and good job by Keller behind the dish, too, to help that stay in front of him and not get behind him anywhere. Nobody's on, but you still don't want that wild pitch that sailing behind you like that.
2-0 now the count as that one misses upstairs as well. And that one nearly hits Hutchinson, so for the second time, Cole Hutchinson gets up 3-0 in the count.
It's twice now. Eakin got one inside early in the count, and Hutchinson there, both guys laid off.
And it's a 4-pitch walk drawn. Hutchinson now 6 walks on the year, 2 today. He goes down to second base, or down to first base. We'll see if he does try to go to second base here, Eric.
Now 2 outs, he might as well try to keep it going here, but this, again, 2 through 5, pretty good early on for Neshannock in this game.
How about that, going to an off-speed pitch right there after 4 straight balls. Pallarino taking. Anxious to get back in there and swing. Coach Q over at third. His 4th season, 5th year as the head coach of the Lancers. Wanted to get the call out to his batter. Misses upstairs, 1-1 to count.
Good off speed again that time by Andrews. Trying to get Pallarino to bite on it, and he stayed patient.
Time requested by Pallarino and granted before the pitch. Neshannock, the 2-time defending WPIAL runner-up, Sir Sickle Silver, also had the state runner-up medal 2 years ago. As Hutchinson's off and running with this pitch, throw down to second base is going to be not in time. Throw is just on the third base side of the bag, allowing Hutchinson to get his 5th swiped bag of the year.
Yeah, he's going to be too fast, was able to extend both hands too. You want to try to get that throw on or to the runner side of the bag so you can get that hand out and tag before he can slip it underneath your glove, and that time just too wide, and got a great break on it. We talked about his lethalness on the bags. Now a deep shot to one of these gaps in the outfield is probably going to score him. He's got that kind of speed.
Really anything in the green because of how choppy it is out there. Ball's going to die.
Got to account for the ball dying. You got to account for the footing, getting a good break on it, keeping your footing at that point too. He is a demon on that bag.
Deep lead now at second base. I thought home plate umpire Rick Gabriel said it was a 1-2 count. Now it's 2-2. I apologize. It was a 2-1. Now it's 2-2 the count to Pallarino with 2 down. Lucas Walzer's next to me running the scoreboard. I should have trusted him. I thought he was maybe blind from the eclipse.
No cheering in the press box.
2-2. Hutchinson off and running again. Ball misses outside, and a steal third without a throw. And that one's all on Hutchinson. He got the timing right there to get off and running. That's not a call from Coach Q. That's him going himself.
Can he catch? You know, if you throw him a deep ball, is he able to catch it on the football field? Man. He has got some wheels, James.
Ellwood City asking about the batter coming out of the box. He was still in the box, said Ricky Gabriel, but there was also no throw even attempted. I think if Keller had tried to make a throw, you may have been able to get away with it. Nonetheless, it is a 3-2 count and a runner at third. Pallarino awaiting the pitch from Andrews. Here's the payoff. Lifted towards center field. Cuevas settling under it in left center will make the catch to end the threat and end the inning. No runs, no hits. There was a walk and a runner left again in scoring position. 3-0 Lancers after 2 innings of play. Back in a moment. WPIAL Baseball on the Lawrence County SportsNet. It's powered by LCAP.
Does your blueprint not match the vision of your building project? Not with Creative Edge Architecture. From concept to creation, Jeff Measle will help tackle the complex problems, creating design solutions and construction experience. Creative Edge gives you the edge design and construction meet.
For more than 120 years, people have been relying upon Martindale Hubbell's AV preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you're involved in a workers' compensation situation, you should do the same. LGKG has been AV rated for over 40 years.
Right now, someone very special needs your help. This is Jack Lynn, CEO of City Rescue Mission. No one is beyond God's love and care. One person's life can affect another. Though you may never meet this person, you can make a difference in his or her life. Hurting men and women in our community desperately need food, shelter, and physical and spiritual care. Some are struggling with abuse and addiction. They feel alone, unloved, and forgotten. Individual, caring people provide their hope. You can help change the lives of men, women, and children. Visit cityrescuemission.org and help us today.
To the top of the third inning we go. Neshannock with a 3-0 lead. No runs, 3 hits, 1 errors, and 3 left on base for Ellwood. 3 runs on 3 hits with 2 left on for the Lancers. I'm James Dotson here at Kirkwood Field, sending it over to Eric Thomas, taking you through the middle 3 innings.
Nate Kennedy will be up for Ellwood City. First time here tonight. RBI last week against Quaker Valley, hitting 182 on the season. Finally gets his crack at Cubelis. We've seen pretty good defense here in the first couple of innings of this game. Good base running, especially by Neshannock, and now Ellwood City's going to try to generate some offense of its own with Kennedy leading things off here in the third. Outfield moves up to medium depth. Kennedy again hitting 182. Part of that bottom of the order for this Ellwood City team as he looks at ball 1. Cubelis been pretty efficient here tonight in his work. Little chopper to third. Nice play there by Wren on to first, and 1 is retired. Back to the top of the order we go with Biskup, who reached on a single in the top of the first. Lutz will be on deck for Ellwood City. And good infield play by this Neshannock team. We've seen a couple of solid plays. Pallarino and Wren getting involved in it. That's outside, but hits the corner for strike 1. Cubelis quick to work. Good pitch that time and a healthy cut by Biskup. 0-2 quickly. Lutz or Biskup reach. It'll be Keller, the 4th man up. And this is the part of the Ellwood City order they got to get going here. Biskup at the top. One of those guys that has 8 strikeouts this season. Another chopper right to Wren. Good play on the 1-hop. Throw on to first, and there's 2 gone. So here is Lutz. Sacrifice in the top of the first. Keller on deck. And there's 2 gone here with no damage so far. 2 really good plays by the third baseman, Wren, to start things here in the third.
That's his first start at third base since his freshman year, actually, I believe. He's played second base mainly, but they kind of flipped it up here.
Punched in the air to shallow center. And a good break and run by Rickle, and it's 1-2-3. Goes Ellwood City in the top of the third. We'll keep it here for the between innings. Good job that time. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Still 3-0 Neshannock.
And as tradition here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, it's time for your Melee Minute as we take a look at the softball happenings across Lawrence County. We'll start with Ellwood City. How about a 5-0 start to the year? And they've scored 10-plus runs in all 5 games. Sarah Schwartz, 7 doubles. Amber Requiston also hitting over 600. Ellie Tlance's top in the county with 12 ribbies. Neshannock, believe they're now 2-0. Didn't see a final on that Neshannock against Aliquippa game. See if we can snag that here for you real quick, as they had just their second game and the first one that they've played in quite some time, a 15-0 final there for the Lancers. Mohawk 3-1 to start the year. They're supposed to be at Ellwood tonight. We'll get you some score updates on that one. Addie Moskell leading the team with over 600 batting average. Cole, Cower, Pistorius, all homers against Poland last week. Laurel, a 2-2 start, some tough non-section tilts, but they did beat Mohawk, a good come-from-behind win there. Addie Deal and Autumn Boyd getting it done for the Spartans. Wilmington, 12-0, 16-0 wins, but they also have not played a game in April. Neither has Union. They haven't played since March 22nd, but they have 5 games scheduled this week. Newcastle, a 1-2 start. They got their first section game, but it was a loss on Saturday. The Mangieri sisters, 5 of the team's 8 hits to start the year in that loss against South Fayette. And Shenango will be there on Wednesday. An 0-3 start for Shenango, but what we want to care about and talk about is Declan's Dream, the game coming up against Neshannock on Wednesday. A great cause. Please come out and support. We'll get some more details here during this third inning, but there's your Maley Chiropractic. Call it the Minute Plus. I can never quite get it in 60 seconds, Eric Thomas, keeping you informed with the softball happenings across Lawrence County.
Impressive nonetheless, sirs. That one a slow roller to second base by Cubelis, and there is one away.
And 1 pitch, 1 out. Both these pitchers have gotten a few of those here. It's interesting with the pitch count rule, Eric. Me as a coach, it would be tough not to tell my kids to be taking a strike a lot of the times. But hitting coaches always tell you, and rightfully so, that the first pitch is the best one you're going to see, and these batters are going after it.
And now you get through the order again. That one's inside on Rinn, right on the fists. Good luck there at Rinn, and also Andrews doing here on a gorgeous night. Temperature drops a little bit as Rinn turns in, and he is going to be hit by the pitch, and he'll take first base.
It's the first hit batsman of the game. Both these teams have had a few who have been wearing it this year. 5th Neshannock player to be hit. There have been 9 hit batsmen against Ellwood on the season. Speaking of hit batsmen, Boyd Kurtz leading the team. It's been plunked twice already this year.
As a single and a run scored here tonight, 3-0 to Neshannock. We are in the bottom of the third inning. That one's ripped towards the gap, second, and gets into right. Turning and hitting second is Randy's on the way to third. He will slide in there, and he is in. And then advancing to second is Kurtz. Excellent job of base running again, and a solid piece of hitting through that gap. And Neshannock's got 2 aboard here.
And again, you'll be the first to hear from Coach Q and Neshannock that, those 2 who are on the base paths are probably not the fastest that they have, but they are, in essence, they are some of the fastest that they have because of the fact how instinctual they are. There was no question that Rinn was going from first to third on that one. And because of the break he got right off the get-go, that's why he was able to make it all the way and heads up running by Kurtz to now get into scoring position.
That's going to be it for Andrews here tonight. He is going to exit. Cannot win.
Looks like it's going to be Lucas Bleakney coming into the game, but he's not going to go to the hill. Looks like it will be Aaron Lake. So we'll get your first red zone call to the bullpen. We'll step aside and come back when we return with our all the changes when we return here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in Neshannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
Contractors, the Department of Healthy Homes needs you. From small to large residential projects, you can help families live safer and healthier with the quality work you do. It's rewarding in more ways than one. Call LCAP's Department of Healthy Homes today.
For 20 years, Maley Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Maley Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Maley Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary.
And we're back here as we are still in the bottom half of the third inning. Pitching change for Ellwood City. It is Lake that is on the mound now. Andrews leaves 2 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. And for Lake this season, 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 8 runs, but only 1 earned, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. So he is the first man here in relief tonight as he is trying to get Valentine, the first baseman, with 2 on, and Neshannock up 3-0. That one's high, and it's 1-1.
Real quick, a look at the defensive alignment. Kennedy moves from second to third. Lucas Bleakley coming into the spot occupied by Andrews, in for Andrews as the guy getting DH'd for.
Valentine, a big cut that time, 1-2. Valentine got on in the bottom of the first.
And now you got to be changing the approach if you're Valentine. Don't need to kill it. Get something in play. The left side infield actually moved back. Right side still in. Try to poke something in play and see if you can get Rin to score from third.
Outside, and Valentine reaching for that one.
Big strikeout right there, though, and that's the first strikeout for either team in the game. Huge right there, 2 runners in scoring positions.
2 gone now with 2 on, and it's going to be Neshannock who comes out. He flew out to right in the first. Eakin will be on deck. If anybody else gets on, it'll be Wilson. Lake, and that one's punched out towards right. Coming on and unable to make the play. It was in foul territory anyway.
Landis dove for it, didn't miss it by much, and the ball and Landis both stuck literally within a foot of foul territory. Landis replacing his divot out there as he gets back to position, but that looked like a hefty land on the right shoulder.
Well, we've said it numerous times here tonight about the outfield and the footing and traction and thickness of the grass out there, and your cleats getting caught. It is a rough go.
Yeah, they tried to cut it today, I was told by one of the Neshannock coaching staff, and they were able to do the foul territory, and they got basically around the edge of the turf, and they got 1 lane, as you can see, into a fair territory down both the left and right field line. But it's still high grass the rest of the way. So, yeah, definitely still soggy, and it's like the Irish hosting USC back in '05. I can't make that reference much more, though. I mean, nobody on the field is alive when that happened.
Poked up the middle. That is going to fall into shallow center. Plates 1. Here comes 2. The throw won't be in time, and it's 5-0 Neshannock on the 2 RBI poke by Neshannock.
How about that? Luka Mezzanot, his first hit of the year. Can't come at a much better time with 2 outs, getting 2 more runs across the board for Neshannock. And that will also close the book on Andrews. 5 runs. All will be earned runs given up by the starter, Andrews. Freshman, though. Again, that was only his 6th plate appearance of the year, Eric, but gets it done when it matters.
Lake comes right back after Eakin for strike 1.
Beautiful first pitch breaking ball there.
Yeah, misspoke there at the top. Those 2 runs do count towards Andrews. He was guilty of the 2 hits. There's 2 outs as the lights come more into play here. So we are just about to the 8 o'clock hour here tonight.
You sure the moon didn't go in front of the sun again?
They're over to first, and back in time is Mezzanot. Eakin flew out to right. His only plate appearance here this evening. Wilson on deck, then back to the top of the order. If Neshannock can get anybody on. That is low and outside for ball 1, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, Eakin, a sophomore, he's been all through the lineup. 8th tonight, 9th, 2nd, 5th. I think he's been just about different lineup spot each game.
That one is hit foul right field side, and that's going to head on over towards the other field, playground area.
We call it the dinosaur here at Neshannock, just because all Lancer graduates will know exactly what we're talking about. The old dinosaur in the playground. Well, unfortunately, found out when I brought my kid up here for one of the games last week, they have that now locked off. You can't go over and play during the game. Come on, man.
No, that's it. I'm leaving.
August did not want to stay tonight when he found out he couldn't go down the slide. Beautiful.
Inside. What a pitch by Lake to get out of the jam, and that's still going to be 2 more runs for Neshannock and 2 hits. 1 left. It is 5-0 Lancers here in the Lawrence County Sports Network.
At Medore Bonner Law, we're more than just attorneys. We're your community partners. With a combined experience that spans decades, attorneys Jason Medore, Michael Bonner, and Greg Rossitelli are your trusted advisors for all legal matters. From personal injury to estate planning, business law to family disputes, we are here to guide you through every step of the legal process. Our full-service, community-based approach ensures that you're not just a client, but a valued member of our family. Give us a call or visit us online at MedoreBonnerLaw.com for more information.
For more than 120 years, people have relied on Martindale-Hubbell's preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you've been involved in an automobile accident, you should do the same. At LGKG, we have been preeminently rated for over 40 years.
Top of the 4th here from Neshannock High School. It is 5-0 Lancers as they're in front of Ellwood City. Keller Landis and Lake are due up for the Wolverines here in the top of the 4th as they need to get some runs going here. Cubelis stays on the mound. He's been pretty good here tonight. No strikeouts, but man, he has gotten some excellent infield play here tonight from his 2 corner infielders, the middle infield. They have flashed some leather here in this early evening.
Yeah, both these teams, some fantastic web gems, but Neshannock getting what neither real team has had a lot of this year, and that's the timely hitting. That 2-out hit by Mezzanot, one of the few 2-out ribbies that either of these teams have had this year.
Outside, good block that time by Wilson. Grounded into a double play to Keller in the top of the 1st. That is outside again for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Landis will wait on deck. That one is ripped foul, third base side.
Well, you mentioned no strikeouts. I mean, coming into the game, only 3 strikeouts and 3 walks on the year for Cubelis. Not a huge strikeout guy, though. He showed that when he needs to be, he can be. Came in relief in the WPIAL semis last year against Avonworth and got a huge, and I mean huge one, there in the 7th inning.
Outside, and that one is poke foul. First base side this time.
Now has to be in the ace role. They had such a plethora of pitchers last year, didn't Neshannock? I mean, you had Grant Melder, who pitched in the state title game 2 years ago, who barely threw any innings last year coming off of a shoulder injury.
Bellis delivers. That's outside again for ball 3, full count.
So you wondered how Neshannock would respond, when you lose Melder and Fry and Walzer, and there's so many pitching options on that team.
Low pitch that time, but grounded right to Wren, and he is on.
What to expect with that lefty move over the first that we've not seen one yet.
Short lead on first by Landis. Cubelis off speed, and that was a beauty as he gets it across for strike 2. 0-2 the count to Lake. Cubelis set, and we get time called. Cubelis fires away outside. Throw to first is not in time.
Backdoor breaking ball kind of breaks around the plate, and I think that's one that with time by the end of the year, you'll see Willie Snap throw that down to first base. Kind of hesitated for a moment. Pitch outside, catcher's already kind of moving that way. You got your momentum going that way. Quick 1-2, even from your knees to try to snap that one down.
Cubelis punched in the air to shallow right. 3 guys coming on to make the play. It drops in between all 3, and everybody is going to be safe. So Lake reaches On the single, on to second is Landis, and at the plate is going to be Will Nardone.
We'll see if Aaron Lake, as the pitcher, will run for himself, or if we'll see a Castle Asphalt courtesy runner. Looks like, yeah, he will run for himself. And we're going to see our LGKG trip to the mound now for Coach John Quilero.
Yep, but we'll get a mound visit. Quilero, 5th year, 4th season, 52 wins as the head coach of Neshannock. 20-year assistant here and currently teaches at Newcastle.
Yeah, it's funny when you talk to Coach Q all those years that he was hanging with Bub. Now, first off, there are 3 players in the dugout who are working the the pitch counts and the scoreboards, and I'm not going to mention Michael Santini, who's not playing the right music over there. We're going to get requests later, but so they can cover their ears. But Coach Q always said all those years under Coach Bub, it was he saw Bub more than he saw his own wife. So they always joked that Bub and Q were the ones that were actually married. But Coach Bub retiring from baseball to help run the gift shop at one of the golf clubs in the area, and enjoying retirement. More time on the golf course, more time to follow his daughter Missy around on the PGA Tour.
So Nardone steps in, and that is in there for strike 1, outside corner.
I mean, not many coaches end up getting a field named after him while they are still coaching. You got 2 of them in this section.
That's true.
With Coach Kirkwood and Riverside's Coach Iliastro.
Yeah, Cubelis will step off momentarily. 2 on and 1 out here for Ellwood City, trying to creep their way back in this game, down 5-0 here in the 4th. Outside for ball 1. Best chance Ellwood City has had here tonight versus Cubelis. DH Bokar is on deck for Ellwood City. Outfield playing at normal depth, and that throw over to second is going to skip by. Pallarino stepped over to make the play, but no damage done there as the runner retreats, and we still got 2 on at first and second.
Yeah, that timing play was well executed by Neshannock. It was a perfectly timed move. Just to throw a little bit behind Pallarino, otherwise I think Landis may have been in trouble.
That one hit foul behind the plate.
And every team does that a little differently, whether it's going on first movement from the shortstop, whether it's the pitcher watching the catcher or the first baseman who's then maybe flicking a glove or saying something or touching the hat. There's so many different ways to work that move, but that one was one of the best ones you've seen in some time.
1-2 off speed, hit foul once again. Nardone stays alive.
But those come down to just practice and repetition over and over and over again, because even like that one, you did everything right, but the throw off by just an inch, he's safe. It's off by 6 inches. It's probably in center field, and Landis advances 90 feet.
Got a good look there at Nardone at the plate. Excellent camera work here tonight. Good vantage point from the outfield. Looking in as Nardone's going to get under that one and hit it foul first base side, and that will get out of play. Stays alive once again at 1-2 with 1 out.
A quick look at an out-of-town scoreboard. Here is Laurel trailing Olsh 4-3. How about that Laurel baseball team off to a 4-0 start? Mohawk, whoa, a 10-1 lead over Ellwood City in softball right now.
That is high, and Nardone looks at it for ball 2.
$11 hits through the first 3 innings. Mohawk put up a 5 spot in the first and the third in that one down at Ellwood.
2-2 pitch coming from Cubelis. And a whiff by Nardone as he will sit down for the second out. First strikeout for Neshannock pitching here tonight.
Yeah, brought a little extra on that one. And good job of mixing the pitches. A couple off speed that were fouled off out of play. Another one that was off speed up or away from the zone, then come up with a little bit more speed up in the zone, changing the eye level, changing the velocity.
So in steps Bokar, the DH. Outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Still 2 on, 2 out. 5-0 lead for Neshannock as Ellwood City trying to Again, its best offensive chance here tonight. Outside and swing and a miss. Throw down to second, high and into shallow center. Once again, but Landis will stay on second.
And you like the aggressiveness of the defense and not being afraid to go and throw it. And a part of that is trust and knowing that you have the backup if a throw does go awry, and trusting your players to go and make that good throw.
1-1 on the way from Cubelis with 2 on and 2 gone. Outside for ball 2, 1 and 2, or 2 and 1 rather.
Yeah, that's a tough one though, Eric. Throwing behind a runner at second from catcher. I mean, that's 120 plus feet you're throwing down, and just as likely a runner could time it right and advance to third base on it.
Swing and a miss for Bokar, and squares the count at 2 and 2.
Well, his first plate appearance of the year earlier tonight. 2 out single to left. Now faces a 2-strike count like he did then.
1 hit in the inning so far for Ellwood City. Landis got on from a walk. That one punched back towards the box here as Bokar will stay alive, 2 and 2.
But you can see the difference here in this inning compared to the first 3 for Ellwood. Is they're seeing the more pitches, they're fouling a few off. Last at bat, Will Nardone fouled a couple off with 2 strikes. Bokar doing 1 here. You're seeing more pitches the second time through the lineup. If you do face a third time through the lineup, you've seen that many more to begin with, but you're getting that pitch count back up. I mean, when you have a 5-pitch inning and a 6-pitch inning, you got to try to get back on pace if you're Ellwood. I mean, 15 per inning gets you to that 100-pitch limit at the end of the game.
Top of the 4th. Bokar trying to get a run across here for Ellwood City, and that one is low for ball 3, 3 and 2.
You can tell from our strike cam just low. We're elevated, so it's a little tough to see the verticality.
Full count, and Cubelis will step off. So we'll do it again here. Full count. Cubelis comes right after him, and looking at strike 3 to end the inning is Bokar. No runs, 1 hit rather, no errors, and 1 left, 2 left. We've played 3.5, still 5-0 Neshannock.
You're looking for quality concrete services? Contact the experienced professionals at Doran Concrete. Our company is family, locally owned and operated, and has been serving the community for over 30 years. Get residential or commercial concrete services for any size job. Our skilled professionals offer prompt and reliable services at an affordable price. We believe in the principles of honesty, integrity, and reliability. Get in touch with us for exceptional concrete services at prices that you can afford.
Works in Progress Painting wishes a successful and satisfying season to all the Lawrence County sports teams and athletes. Work hard and bring honor to your team, school, and family in how you play. Joe Wright and his family have been providing painting, window cleaning, and other property services for business and homeowners in the Lawrence County area for over 10 years. Their goal on every project is to provide a meaningful service that honors their customer, God, and their family, and to have fun while doing it. Works in Progress is now booking interior painting projects for both residential and commercial projects. Call Joe today at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next project. Back here in the Lawrence County Sports Network, Eric Thomas and James Dotson with you as we are in the bottom of the 4th with Neshannock coming to the plate here, and they lead at 5-0. And Lake will stay out there for Ellwood City as Wilson leading things off here. Lake, and that one's grounded towards short. And a good play that time by Lutz, and there's 1 away.
Yeah, I like that. If you're watching at home, I mean, that's exactly what you're looking for from a shortstop. working your feet, keeping the feet moving as you come through the baseball to field it, and keep your momentum going as you fire over to first. Top of the order, Cole Hutchinson on base twice, couple of walks, couple of stolen bases here in the game.
Yeah, Hutchinson's had a busy night here so far. Reached on 2 walks and scored a run. Looks at ball 1. Pallarino on deck for the Lancers. If anybody else gets on, it'll be Cubelis coming up 4th. That one a good off speed right down the middle for a 1-1 count.
Yeah, great pitch there from Lake, and as a batter, hey, early in the count, you get fooled, no need to swing at it. You got 2 more pitches coming.
1-1, and again, Hutchinson looks at strike 2, 1-2.
What great snap action you're seeing, though, on that breaking ball here from Aaron Lake. Showed it off with the backwards K to end the last inning. 2 great ones here.
Swings at strike 3. Great pitch by Lake to get Hutchinson, and there's 2 gone with Pallarino due up.
But that's exactly what it can be, though, because of that right there. You throw those 2 nasty breaking balls low and away, and then you can come back, change the speed, change the velocity. Hutchinson, no chance to catch up to that one.
Pallarino now looks at ball 1. Pallarino has singled and flown out to center. Lake on 1-0. Outside, skips past home plate and Keller, and that's going to be ball 2, 2-0.
And again, turf infield, a grass outfield here at Neshannock, 325 down the lines, 350 in the power alleys, and 375 to deep center field. You might as well say 400 the football field at that point.
And that one is in there for ball 3.
And the biggest part, though, it's about 60, 65 feet behind the catcher.
And there is strike 1 across to Pallarino. Lake working very quickly off the mound outside for ball 4, and Pallarino is aboard.
So first walk issued by Lake, second by Ellwood in the game. Dom Cubelis, a couple of grounders towards short on the day for the lefty junior. Again, coming up after the game, we'll have our MVP Insurance MVP of the game. Call MVP for the win. Home, auto, term life, and liability insurance, and much more. Visit MVPINS.com for more info.
Cubelis reached on a fielder's choice and grounded out to second. His 2 plate appearances. That one is inside, but got the corner for strike 1.
Yeah, and I agree as well. Cubelis not so sure, but he was all over the plate, and that fastball has a little tail right at the end of it there, Tim. And a lot of movement on these pitches coming from Aaron Lake.
1 on with 2 outs, and Lake quick throw over to first, and Pallarino is back.
You talked about Hutchinson with 4, now 6 stolen bases on the year, but you look at Pallarino, he's got 3 as well. Speedy middle infielder. Maybe he'll try to small ball his way in a scoring position. Big lead.
Is punched foul out towards left, and
that looked like a Limo 9-iron right there. That's about how far it goes, too. Lee and Jay will be on the call out at Shenango for that game. Neshannock against Shenango softball on Wednesday, weather permitting. The Declan's Dream game. Great fundraiser there for a great cause of getting handicap-accessible playgrounds here in Lawrence County. Glad to be a part of that game coming up on Wednesday.
Cubelis steps out for a moment, and he is back in the box. 0-2 the count with 2 gone, and Pallarino standing on first. Lake, and he'll step off now. Call timeout, and he'll ask Keller to step out for a quick conversation. Pallarino will come in for some instructions. They tell him to actually stay back. Cubelis will step over and get some instructions. Now he is back in. Keller is about ready to get set. Cubelis, the lefty, will stand in. 0-2 with 2 gone. And Pallarino on first. Takes a lead again outside. Pallarino down the line to second. Good throw, but he is in there.
He's around the tag. He's around the tag is what it is there, and it's a little hook slide to avoid the tag. Doug Brown all over it. Ellwood City dugout can't believe it. The throw was there in time. That was different, though. That was a delayed steal. He wasn't off and going, trying to lull the defense to sleep. Good throw down from the catcher, Jordan Keller, but just an impressive slide to get the fourth swipe bag of the year for Palorino.
Takes a big lead off second base. 1-2 the count to Cubelis with 2 gone. Neshannock up 5-0. As Lake looks in and fires inside as Cubelis has to dance around that and get out of the way. It's 2-2. And a big lead for Palorino. Lake looks back, delivers. Cubelis up the middle. That's going to get into center for a base knock. Rounding third is Palorino, and he will score standing up. Cubelis helping his own cause with the RBI single. It's 6-0 Neshannock.
Another 2-out Toshiba RBI. Call Dale at 412-290-2556. Excuse me, 412-290-2156 for all of your printer output device and digital workflow solutions, or visit business.toshiba.com. Click Find a Dealer near you. The 2-out Ribby. Cubelis will run for himself. Again, no Castle Asphalt courtesy runner. But again, those 2-out ribbies, crucial.
And they will actually, now it looks like courtesy run for Cubelis.
It's Hayden Tatterson who will be running over at first base for Neshannock. So Hayden Tatterson's your Castle Asphalt courtesy runner. Visit castleasphalt.com for commercial, residential asphalt paving.
Jake Grimm with a sacrifice, and he was hit by a pitch earlier, also scored a run. Looks at ball 1.
So no official at-bats for Jake on the night.
Two gone, and courtesy runner on first for Wren as he looks at ball 2, and that throw over to first, not in time.
So we talked about it earlier with Hunter Wilson maybe hesitating on a throw down there. That right there is perfection from Keller. It was a fastball high and outside, so it gets to you quickly. You're moving that direction anyway. The quick snap throw down to Nardone at first. Just heads up play to get back in time by Tatterson.
Quick throw again.
Barely getting back in there. Into the pellets.
Nightfall here at Neshannock High School as the lights now fully encasing this gorgeous facility as that one is lifted in the air to shallow center. And on to make the play is Cuevas, and that is it for Neshannock in the bottom of the 4th. But they do get a run. Got one on with Palorino on the walk. And they extend their lead to 6-0. This is high school baseball on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
I love what I do because coming in every day is different.
How can you not enjoy these kids coming up and hugging you and giving you these great smiles all throughout the day?
Seeing the progress that our kids make every single day is one of the reasons I love coming to school.
What should we do? We have fun.
LCAP Early Learning Centers is hiring. Help empower young minds in Lawrence County and become a superhero today. Apply at lcap.org.
No two companies create the same way. Toshiba empowers the art of business by uniquely enabling businesses to work with tools designed specifically for them. In a constantly evolving world, business communication must be agile, efficient, and fast. Toshiba is the company that helps you manage it all, from paper to digital to screen and back again. Toshiba, empowering the art of business.
Cuevas to lead it off for Ellwood City as we hit the 5th. And they still trail this one now 6-0. Eric Thomas, James Dotson with you. Cuevas grounded out to short, his first rather popped up to short his first time up. Kennedy will be due up next for Ellwood City. Inside. 2-0.
So this answers a question that was meant to pose at the start of this inning and then completely forgot until those 2 pitches. But had Cubellis been pulled after that last inning, he was at 52 pitches, but it would have reverted back to 50 because he eclipsed that threshold during that at-bat. So he could have technically pitched on Wednesday, but these are back-to-back games. The only issue is you don't know what the weather's going to be doing. If you think that tomorrow's game isn't happening, you technically could have pulled him with a 6-run lead and said, hey, let's take our chances. But, I think you got to get a win here first and foremost. Not a bad idea to keep your ace out there here in the 5th inning.
Working that outside corner and gets that one across for strike 2. It is 3-2. Cubellis, that is high, and Cuevas draws the walk.
Third time that Cuevas has been walked on the year. Now Nate Kennedy coming to the plate, and normal situations, 9-hitter for Ellwood City. You figure that Coach Wise over at third base probably putting on a bunt signal, trying to manufacture a run here, but you're down 6. You need crooked numbers there on the scoreboard, not just one. First throw over we've seen, and caught Cuevas leaning the wrong way over there, the freshman.
Kennedy grounded out to third, back in the third. Outside again as Cubellis keeps trying to paint that corner. It's 1-0.
Now when you keep missing the same spot, and I like right there, he took a look down at the mound and at the rubber, actually moved a little bit over on the rubber. You move 1 inch there on the pitcher's plate, it's about a foot at the batter's plate.
Now one right down the middle for strike 1, 1-1.
And that's the key right there. Any young pitcher to be able to make that sort of adjustment right there when you're in or out especially, but when you're up and down, adjusting the release point, adjusting little things are what make a good pitcher a great pitcher.
Bellis comes right after him and hits it right down the middle again for strike 2. 1-2 now to Kennedy. Biscup is on deck. If anybody else is on, Lutz will have a chance here in the inning as Ellwood City needs, as James said, to manufacture some runs. Cubellis throws over. Cuevas back to the bag in time. Pitch, and that one's punched foul first base side. Still 1-2 to Kennedy. Inside for ball 2, up at the numbers that time. 2-2 the count.
But again, after a couple that have been away, you change the eye angle, you get something a little bit high and heavy. Now you can go either way. You can go fastball in again, or maybe break something off outside corner.
That one is hit towards second, and they will get the force at second onto first, and the throw wide. And Kennedy will reach on the air. Cuevas is cut down at second.
So that'll just be a fielder's choice. No error. You can't assume a double play.
Yeah, that's very true.
But how about the quick hands there at second base? The quick hands from Pallarino at short, I should say, to get it to Meznot, and then equally quick hands by the freshman throwing to first. Yeah, the throw was low, but heads-up play by Wilson backing up, doing the right things, everybody in the right spot, can't advance on the overthrow.
Biscup will step in for Ellwood City. Still trying to get some runs here, and again, with runners on, they have a chance as that one is punched in the air towards center. It's going to drop in front of Rickle, and he is able to make the grab, misplayed it momentarily, and there's 2 aboard.
Yeah, he overran it actually because the ball hit and, again, had somewhat spin with how wet the grass is still in the outfield. Ball kind of died and bounced behind him, but was able to recover before Kennedy could try to make any sort of run towards third. But second hit of the game for Jacob Biscup out of the leadoff spot. Not bad for a guy who came in hitting 143 on the year.
Well, and again, they Widmer not here for Ellwood City. They're going to courtesy run, it looks like, for Kennedy.
So that'll be a pinch runner then.
Yep.
That's Carlo Nardone, who is going to be the pinch runner in at second base. We will have another LGKG mound visit. Thank you, Rick Gabriel. That is, again, 15 out there. Carlo Nardone. LGKG. Visit them online at lgkg.com for your free consultation. They've been keeping promises for over 90 years. By the way, our LGKG Athlete of the Month on the field here tonight. Mr. Eric Thomas, that would be Gio Valentine. And you know what, with all the chaos of the past week, I apologize, we still have not made an announcement. We still have not gotten the official tally for the female Athlete of the Month. We had a lot of great nominations. We couldn't just go and basically say, yeah, it was Gio for everything he did with the hockey team. By the way, that Neshannock hockey program, your LCAP Team of the Month for the month of March. But we will get that announcement coming up. We will have it for sure for our broadcast on Wednesday.
Good leadoff second as Lutz will step in for Ellwood City. And looks at strike one, 0-1 now.
Yeah,
one gone here in the top of the fifth.
Yeah, great job painting the knees. You work down in the zone as a pitcher in high school, and you're going to be a successful pitcher.
Back to second, and in time is Nardone.
Carlos got to be careful, though. He got in there safely, but then as he got back up, he took his hand off the bag for a minute there, Eric. If the shortstop had kept the tag on, could have been called out.
It stands in. Pitch from Cubelis. That one's punched out towards right. And on to make the play is Eakin. They throw into second all the way across to third. As runner stays on first and second. Now two gone.
Yeah, Lutz stayed with that pitch so well, but just got under it. Just barely missed barreling. And I'll tell you what, I think Eakin had trouble finding that one off the bat. He was kind of looking around, or maybe he was just trying to decoy the runner off second base to go too early, but nonetheless able to snag it and get the second out.
So in steps Keller, the catcher. He has grounded out twice here tonight. Two gone.
He requests and is granted time there in the box.
Outside again. Cubelis trying to hit that outside corner, and it doesn't get across.
I haven't had a chance to talk much about the section standings because it's such a weird start to the year with last week many teams not getting games in, but Mohawk at 4-0, Riverside and Shenango each at 2-0 at the top of the section standings.
That one is hit foul, out of play.
So those three at the top of the standings. Ellwood City coming in, the only other team with a win, 1-2 in the section. Again, they still have to play Quaker Valley later this week. Likely that game will be on Thursday. Neshannock, Quaker Valley, and Beaver Falls each winless to start section play.
1-1 to Keller with 2 on and 2 gone. Again, Cubelis trying to work outside, and that is off for ball 2, 2-1. Sam Landis on deck for Ellwood City. Inside that time, and ball 3, 3-1 the count now to Keller.
Keller's been hit twice this year. What is it about catchers getting hit?
Sends a message, I believe. I don't know.
It always feels like they're the ones who are.
Whew. That was a close play at first, but Biscup is just under the tag.
And that's a timing play because first baseman Valentine was not holding.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if it's because the catcher is really the lifeblood of the team. You try to send a message that time as Keller pops that one up. And that is going to get out of play. into the stands right next to the Ellwood City dugout.
So you're saying, like, pitcher, if you're going to leave one inside against a catcher, no big deal? Or I'm thinking more the other way around, if the catcher's not afraid to lean in the one if it comes down to it. They're not the ones that are jumping out of the way. They take balls off the chest all the time.
Maybe not afraid to lean into it. I think it's the pitcher trying to assert some dominance maybe. Tell you the other team that they're not going to mess around with you here tonight. They're going to go right after your lifeblood. 3-2 the count with 2 outs, 2 on, 6-0 lead for Neshannock. Cubelis will mock throw back to second.
The inside move, the move Shazi always hated. He would verbally groan every time. I don't think he ever saw one that led to a pickoff.
And again, hit foul. Out of play, first base side.
That's because he never saw me make an inside move.
Get some extra balls thrown in after a couple have been hit out of play here. Top of the 5th. And it is 6-0 home side Neshannock here as nighttime has hit Lawrence County. Great night under the lights here tonight. Cubelis, that one's dribbled towards second. Tough play, and they do not get him. Excellent play and excellent effort defensively, but speeding down that line, Keller, and he is aboard.
Yeah, that ball had a lot of English on it, a little rug burner, really, and, you know, Jordan Keller speedy down to first base. I mean, he's a catcher. You're not expecting to be that fleet of foot. Mesnot also was cheating a little bit up the middle. Now 3 men on the pond. Sam Landis coming to the plate.
Flew out to second, or flew out to center, rather, and walked in his 2 appearances here tonight. And he looks right at strike 1. It's Nardone on third. Biscup at second. Keller standing on first.
Yeah, still 3 innings to play, but this is almost a must for Ellwood City. Heart of your order, bases loaded, trailing 6-0. And more runners on the base paths, and Umberfield's traveling up 79 today.
The 0-1 and swing and a miss by Landis, 0-2.
But then on the other side as a pitcher, these situations you're saying this is the best pitch of the night coming right here, and I think that was right there. Beautiful breaking ball from Cubelis. Now up 0-2, can do whatever he wants. Fastball up, breaking ball away. He's got his whole arsenal.
2 base hits in the inning for Ellwood City, still trying to get across that first run, and Landis will again ask for time. Now, you mentioned something a couple minutes ago with Eakin out and right, and the Neshannock coaches just yelled for the infield to make sure they point on a fly ball. So good, good awareness as these things get caught up in the lights here. That one's outside for ball 1, 1-2.
Yeah, you can't take anything for granted on any ball up in the air.
Landis will stand back in. Perfect opportunity here for Ellwood City if they can get something across. Landis sidesteps, and what a pitch by Cubelis to get out of the jam.
You leave the bases loaded. What a beautiful breaking ball inside, right on the black in the inside corner to end the inning and keep a goose egg on the board. Beautiful pitch for the 3rd strikeout for Cubelis.
7th runner strand tonight for Ellwood City as Neshannock still has a 6-0 lead here tonight. And that'll do it for the top of the 5th. We'll take a timeout. You're watching high school baseball on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
And back here at Neshannock High School, bottom of the 5th inning for the Lancers. It'll be Wren, Kurtz, and Valentine. If anybody Neshannock gets on. Mezzanote would be due up fourth. They lead at 6-0. And so far, a good pitching effort by Cubelis. Got out of that jam, and it's been good run support, including Cubelis with his own RBI here tonight. Overall, a well-played game by Neshannock, I'd say.
Yeah, and you can't even say that it's not a well-played game by Ellwood City, though, either, because you look at their side of things. They got a hit in 4 out of the 5 innings, but, yeah, as you mentioned, now with that double play in the first inning, technically 8 runners left on base here through the first 5 innings, and that was kind of what plagued Neshannock in their first game lost at Mohawk, that they had over double-digit runners left on the bags. That one hurt there, leaving the bases loaded. But we talked about it. Cubelis not really a strikeout pitcher, but when he needs to, he can. Perfect example right there to strike out the cleanup hitter with the bases full of Wolverines.
So here's Wren, been great defensively tonight. Check it, that is Kurtz who leads it off. Wren completed the inning last inning. It's Kurtz, Valentine, and Mezzanote. Wren has been great defensively tonight, though.
Can't say that about Boyd. He's a DH.
It's good old DH in Pennsylvania. It's becoming a universal thing in baseball now as Kurtz looks outside.
Still not a huge fan of it. Still not a fan of it happening in the National League. I'm still not used to it yet, I guess, but that's neither here nor there. I can't go a broadcast with Boyd Kurtz out there without, though, mentioning just what this kid has gone through. So when he would have been 8 or 9 years old, he was diagnosed with a rare bone disease. How rare was his bone marrow disease? He was only the 2nd documented case in the country. Went through some painful procedures. At one point had rods inserted in parts of his body. Couldn't bend his back. But guess what? He never stopped playing baseball throughout that entire time. And no surprise that you see him out here as this one bounces all the way over to the Neshannock dugout. But I remember watching this kid when he was 9 years old. They had a fundraiser game with the high school and the Pony League kids up here, and they had a special pinch hitter, and it wasn't scripted, I promise, because I was the one coaching the game. Boyd Kurtz got the walk-off hit as a 9-year-old in that game featuring high school and middle school players. He poked one to right field, and you couldn't have scripted it even if we had tried, and we certainly did it. But that was such a great night, and great to see him now on the ball field as a senior.
Full count now to Kurtz as Lake continues to work. That one is high, and Kurtz will draw the walk, so 1 on. And that is going to bring up Valentine, the first baseman.
And they're going to go have another LGKG trip to the mound.
Valentine has reached and also struck out tonight.
I think we might be getting, I think we are going to get a pinch runner now. We saw Hayden Tatterson in there as a courtesy runner. 13 is now going to enter as a pinch runner. So Hayden Tatterson was the courtesy runner earlier for the pitcher. Now the pinch runner out there at first base. LCAP Early Learning, help your little one blossom. Immediate openings in child care and preschool classrooms all across Lawrence County. Give them a call today at 724-944-7671. Ricky Gabriel giving us the play-by-play, and we are going to get a new pitcher out there as well, Eric. That's Nate Kennedy who's going to go in to pitch.
Third pitcher tonight for Ellwood City. Andrews stands to take the loss if score holds. Lake in relief was solid tonight. And Kennedy has 6 innings pitched, giving up 8 hits, 8 runs, 5 earned, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. And an ERA of 5.83 on the young season.
So Kennedy moves from third to the mound, and it looks like Carlo Nardone has, or no, never mind. Aaron Lake went to third base. My apologies. Swore I saw 15 out there. So we'll fix that. Aaron Lake will stay at third, or go back to third, I should say, where he began, which makes more sense. Thank you, Mr. Gabriel. So no subs in. We'll take a look at the
Valentine steps in with 1 on and no outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Trying to add to the lead already as Kennedy misses outside for ball 1. Valentine, Mezzanote, and then if anybody reaches Eakin, anybody else gets on, it'll be Eakin. And Valentine swinging down to first, and back is Patterson.
So there should be your defensive alignment there. Is that your alarm going off, Josh?
1-1. Valentine showed bunt there for a second, pulled back and hacks it 1 foul, so it's 1-2.
I like the idea of the slash right there, actually. Just try to see what the defense does, get the defense moving a little bit, but kind of open the shoulder a little bit too early, got it off the end of the bat.
Valentine. And what is low and outside for ball 2. 2-2 now to Valentine. Patterson, the pinch runner on first. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Valentine offers that time, and he is retired on strikes.
Yeah, good breaking ball there from Kennedy to get his first strikeout, the second time that Valentine has gone down by a strikeout today.
So Mezzanote will step in and actually it is Mezzanote and then Eakin on deck. So Eakin will, unless a double play, get an at-bat here. Shows bunt, that one's foul, 0-1.
A good idea, Mezzanote trying to get the bunt down, but the issue on that one, he had the bat handle back in the zone. You got to get out in front, and especially that. That's more of a sacrifice. You're not trying to bunt for a hit. Get out, sacrifice yourself, catch the ball with the bat, and get it between the lines.
Mezzanote doubled, and rather reached in the 3rd and flew out to right in the 1st. Shows bunt again, lays it down first base side. Kennedy pitches it over to first, and it's going to be a sacrifice for Mezzanote. Runner advances to second.
But that's it right there. The difference is instead of the bat being back, I'm using Italian hands, not that anybody can see me right now, but instead of having the left hand extended right hand bat, he got that top hand out further so he can catch the ball in front of the plate. Better job there to get it down, get the runner in scoring position, and hey, let one of your big hitters. I know he's the 8 hitter tonight, but Anthony Eakin has definitely shown that he can swing the bat well. His first start here last year in a game early in the year, coach just had a feeling about him. Well, he got on base 4 times, had 3 RBI, had a diving catch in the outfield. Sometimes coaches just get those instincts, and Coach Q here thinking maybe, hey, let's just try to get one more across because you never know what Ellwood City can be able to do.
Takes a big cut for strike 1, 0-1 the count. Big lead off second. Eakin, that one foul behind the plate.
Every coach that we talk to in this section, they tell you no lead is safe. I mean, I know every coach is going to say that, but it legit is true. Like 5-6 run lead, and they're still manufacturing bunting to get a 7th or 8th run because, at any time these teams can go and string them together. Even both these teams that have struggled to do so this year would not surprise to see it happen.
Kennedy delivers. That one is high, and he can swing and a miss. And that is it for the Lancers in the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, No errors. They still got a 6-0 lead. This is high school baseball on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP.
Firefly Solar is a proud sponsor of LC SportsNet. From our regional business partnership to our community benefits agreement with local schools, Firefly Solar is dedicated to being an outstanding neighbor and beacon of economic support to the Lawrence County community. Let's create a stronger energy infrastructure while preserving the agricultural beauty of Lawrence County. Visit fireflysolarpa.com for more info about the Firefly Solar project. Firefly Solar, creating a brighter future in Lawrence County.
Back here at Neshannock High School, top half of the 6th, as Cubelis will be back out to work and Ellwood City trailing by 6. We'll have 2 more cracks at it. James Dotson will take you home.
Thank you, Eric Thomas. Glad to be here again at Mike Bubba Kirkwood Stadium, Mike Bubba Kirkwood Field here. And like seeing the lights out in the distance there of the softball field, getting the new lights installed this year. They got a junior high game still going on after the varsity's 15-0 win over the Quips here tonight on the baseball diamond. Neshannock with the 6-0 advantage. Dom Cubelis, 78 pitches at the moment through 5 innings of play, giving up 6 hits, but has not allowed a run. Ellwood City, as you can see there, stranding 8 on the bags. Big storyline here in this one, as they will send 5, 6, 7 hitters up to the plate in Lake, Nardone, and Boker.
Talked earlier about the strike percentage by both these teams, and Neshannock only a 3.91 team ERA coming into play tonight. So while they may not be striking a lot of guys out, that one's outside for ball 1, they are getting guys out, and they're not allowing many runs early in the season. That's a good sign for a team that needs some wins.
Good breaking ball there to even the count at 1-1. Came in at just 53% strike percentage. I got him almost dead even in first pitch strike, first pitch ball here on the night as well. That's a stat I like. I always enjoyed keeping, was how many first pitch strikes are you throwing? Because if you're allowing leadoff guys on base, runs normally score. And if you get behind the count, runners get on base.
Yeah.
Good 2-1 pitch to catch the outside corner there. Count even at 2-2 to Lake. 1 for 2 on the day for him.
And so many high school teams not afraid to play small ball either, to manufacture runs. So you get the leadoff guy on, you bunt a guy over, depending on what your lineup looks like.
It's called strike 3 on the outside corner. So back-to-back strikeouts for the second time today, as he struck out Landis to end the fifth, and now strikes out Lake to begin the 6th. Both looking.
Yeah, you see so many teams, and you especially see it in the playoffs, not afraid to generate runs, and putting aces out on the mound and figuring out your pitching rotation.
As this one's lifted towards right, Aiken loses the hat. Actually overran it, came back towards the field to make the catch in right for the second out of the inning. Fighting with those lights, but 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 6th.
When you get early in the season, you're going to get later games this year, too, that are going to be under the lights when the playoffs come. But you get those early season games where, we're not quite extending the sunlight past, 7:15, 7:20 or so, and you get those lights on. That is tough to adjust to when you're used to playing at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon and getting the game in plenty of time.
A single and a strikeout for Gordon Boker. Batting now with 2 down. DH. His first trips to the batter's box today. Down even at 1-1. Now 2-1 as that one misses outside. And keep an eye on that pitch count there on top of your screen. 87 pitches now thrown from Cubelis. You can get up to 100. You're allowed to finish that at bat. Another one that just tailed off the outside corner, 3-1 to count. We thank you if you're watching on Facebook Live, on Game Changer here tonight. Also, if you're listening on Western Reserve Radio out in Ohio. Glad you can be joining us. This one's chopped up the middle. Nice short hop taken by the shortstop and throw to first base, but not. The ball is dropped. Valentine dropped the ball. They're trying to say it was on a transfer, though Valentine had no need to go and throw it anywhere. So I think that's what the base umpire Doug Brown is saying. It was not on a transfer. It was just dropped over at first.
Going to get a contention here. Coach Quilero's quickly state his case and then get the explanation, and that's it.
So runner on first, and that's a tough one for Neshannock because that just means more pitches now on your starter, where he was on pace to maybe be able to finish this one out. So now coming to the plate is Mikel Cuva, excuse me. Oh for 1 with a walk and a ground out. Fouls this one off his foot down the third baseline. Kirkwood Field a couple years ago hosted the state semifinal doubleheader here between Newcastle against Montour and then Shenango against Sarah Catholic. And let me tell you, every single square inch of grass around this field was covered with spectators in their lawn chairs. As this one misses inside, count now 1-2. Coach Zorenda of Sarah, who I'm almost guaranteed is going to be watching right now, said he loved making the 2-hour trip. He didn't care if Shenango only made a 10-minute trip to play on this field. Said well worth the drive. 2-2 now the count to Cuvas.
Now, one thing you can't say about Lawrence County is that they don't turn out to support their teams. I mean, it's been the crowds, football season through basketball. I mean, just thinking about that state playoff game between Mohawk and Ellwood City, that was just a couple weeks ago. It felt like it was about 6 months ago already, but the crowd that night at Newcastle for that game, the crowds across the way for football at Bledgey Stadium.
Throw over to first base. Back in time over there at first is Bokar. Full count, he'll be off and running with the pitch. That's what I tell everybody when they come do their first Lawrence County game. They're shocked at the crowds that they see. But this is what we see pretty much on the norm here in the County of Champions. So 2 outs, a reach on error, and now a walk. And now walking out to the mound will be Coach Q. We have another red zone call to the bullpen.
Well, when your first experience is the defending state champions in single-A football and Mohawk, and then getting to Mohawk and Neshannock, and then doing the playoff game here with Neshannock and Beaver Falls, that was unbelievable that night.
Thomas Morrell is going to come into pitch. That's the end of the night for Cubellis. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and get you the full change here in a minute. So red zone call to the bullpen. Back in a moment on the Lawrence County SportsNet.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in Neshannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone. When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Mathur and David Verratti want to provide you with the level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of the locations in Zingleopole or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win. Proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County SportsNet.
GEM building contractors and developers have a proven record of performance on any size project. They bring value, local craftsmanship, expert management to meet any challenge. From design construction, from inspection to budget estimation, GEM Builder has been building our community for 70 years.
Thomas Morrell coming in to pitch now for Neshannock. Dom Cubellis will go to center field. So into the game is Morrell. He goes in at the spot that was being DH'd for, so he takes place of Adam Rickle. As you take a look again at your Madur Bonner Law defensive alignment. And Morrell's going to come in with 2 runners on base. to deal with, and at the plate, 9-hitter Nate Kennedy. Third appearance on the year for Tom Morrell. All out of the bullpen for Thomas, and immediately goes for a pickoff move to second base and nearly gets the runner. Hustling back there was Boker. How about that? You come right in, you go for a timing play. We've seen it a couple times tonight for Neshannock doing that. A couple times been really close to picking off the runner. Now first pitch to the plate is a cricket bowl. Good block behind the dish by Hunter Wilson, keeping the runners from advancing. Game 2 scheduled for tomorrow at Ewing Park. This one's downstairs, 2-0 the count. Never got confirmation, Eric, but believe the schedule had it originally flipped around the other way. Today was supposed to be at Ellwood, tomorrow at Neshannock, though I do believe with the eclipse and a lot of the schools trying to push everything back in the day that they came up here instead. Ewing Park, the lights there a few years ago. Oh, going downhill. I believe one of them got struck by lightning, actually, was one of the potential reports. Not sure if that was ever confirmed. Sure if Brad's listening, he can confirm that for me or not. 2-1 the count as this one's grounded towards short. Pallarino takes the short throw over the second, fielder's choice. 6-4, retires Cubas and ends the inning. 2 more runners stranded on the bags in the inning, and still a goose egg on the board for the Wolverines. They trail Neshannock 6-0. Bottom of the 6th when we return on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
I think the key to any attorney-client relationship is trust. My father told me a long time ago, the definition of personal integrity is really simple. Do what you say you're going to do. At LGKG, we've been doing that for over 80 years.
Don't get left out to dry. Call the Penn Ohio Bottled Water Company for the fastest and most efficient bottled water delivery service in the area. Penn Ohio offers bottled water ranging from 16.9-ounce bottles to 5-gallon jugs, perfect for your next event or office water cooler system. Also, don't forget to ask about their custom labeling options. Visit PennOhioBottledWater.com for more information and to get a quote on their delivery services. Whether it's at home, in the office, or on the sidelines, Penn Ohio has you covered.
Big number down there. 10 runners now left on the bags in the game for Ellwood City. That's always tough to be able to come back from there, as we're going to have some changes coming in here, Eric. But 10 runners left on is tough.
Yeah, especially when you've had opportunities in this game tonight. You go back to what they had in the 5th and a couple of opportunities throughout the rest of the game. And Ellwood City just not able to get that run across, and that's one of the reasons why you look at the ERA for this Neshannock team. Yeah, okay, they don't strike out a ton. They don't give up any power, but the defense of this Neshannock team early on in this season has been a big reason why they've got a sub-4 ERA as a team, and that's going to go lower tonight if the score holds. Been very impressed with this defense by both sides really here tonight, but Neshannock's defense has been so good in this contest here this evening. So we got a couple changes coming here lineup-wise.
So 14, Matt Kelly is going into the game. He's going into right field. Home plate umpire Ricky Gabriel also told us the DH is now dead. So we're going to see how that comes through. Not sure if Boker ended up going into the field. Doesn't look like it at the moment. So looks like that's the only change we're seeing. Sam Landis is actually coming to the mound. That's what it is. Number 13, Sam Landis is going to the mound for another pitching change. So I'll get you the rest of those changes when we can. So Landis from right field to the mound. Kelly going out into right field. First pitch swinging is the 9-hitter Hunter Wilson, 9-1-2, Wilson, Hutchinson, and Pallarino.
Fourth pitcher used here tonight for Ellwood. And, you know, that happens early on in the season. You're really trying to figure out your rotation, who's going to be your ace, who's going to be your go-tos if you need them in relief. And this team's going to have some work to do here the rest of this early part of the season if they're going to make a run. But they got to find some offense, James. I mean, that's been the big thing I've taken away from this game tonight. 10 runners left on, plenty of chances, or at least enough chances to get back in this game, and it's either been a ground out, a strikeout of late. You know, they've had opportunities, and this Neshannock defense has been pretty darn good tonight, not allowing anything to sneak through the infield, and when they really needed it, Q-Bellis was able to buckle down and get a couple of strikeouts.
1-2 the count now to Hunter Wilson, 0 for 2 on the day. Yeah, they put the ball in play. They've got 6 hits on the day. Both teams with 6 hits right now on the evening. And just Neshannock able to string a couple together and get those clutch 2-out hits, which, again, neither team really had coming into today's game. Neshannock able to do it here. This one's golfed down the right field line and just foul.
That could have been extra bases if that thing landed on the fair line. That's a fine line out there with the foul line and the way that grass is cut and how everything has been sticking in the outfield tonight. Wilson's still looking for his first hit of the season.
He's hit 2 pretty well today. A line drive, well, a diving catch by the shortstop Isaiah Lutz, and then he made a nice play on a ground ball in the second at bat. 2-2 now to count as that one misses upstairs from land. As part of it, too, not only finding the rotation, but also you got to think about they're preparing for tomorrow. You're keeping all pitchers' arms available by staying under the 25 pitch count.
That's a valid point.
2-2 pitch. This one's popped up, giving chase behind the dish. It's Keller. Lots of room. Needed about 65 feet and stopped at 64. Not so tough right there because he's right up against the fence. The ball is coming back towards you, towards the stadium. It's tough to trust that you can go all the way to the fence. You stop just a couple of feet short.
You know, and that's the other interesting thing about when you get into these pitch counts and all that. It's always, you know, and it's easier to say than actually have, but if you have a 1-2 that you can rely on the mound and you can set yourself up where they're interchangeable, you can split a championship game if pitch counts are a problem. You really need to define your rotation and have, you know, it doesn't have to be a 1 and a 1A, but I mean a 1 and a very high 2 as far as starters go. You're going to be pretty well set up.
Oh, I saw that when Neshannock made it out to the state championship game a couple of years ago. The Everett they played, I believe it was in the state championship game. Same thing. They had 2 pitchers, neither one really overly dominant, to say the very least, but they got the job done. They stayed under 75 and both could pitch both days. This one's hit towards the right center gap. Giving chase is Kelly, and he's going to make the catch on the run. Talk about making an impact right away. Matt Kelly off the bench, go to right field. Make a nice running catch there deep in the gap. And unfortunately for Hunter Wilson, still looking for that first hit on the year, but man, he's given the ball a ride 2 out of 3 times for sure.
No, he has, and if they can get him going with Eakin hitting ahead of him and then Hutchison at the top of the order and really get a bottom of the order to top 1, 2, 3 punch, that's going to take some pressure off 2 through 4, and 2 through 4 has not been bad here tonight. They've scored a bunch of runs, have a couple of hits, got some walks, complement each other, but I still think with Eakin and Hutchison, you have a really good 2 guys that sandwich Wilson. If Wilson could just start getting, as Hutchison's going to step into that one and get hit by it. You got a good 1-2 if you get Wilson going, and you can go 1, 2, 3, bottom of your order to the top. That's going to make this team very hard to get out.
I mean, you look at it right there. That's exactly how Hutchinson began his year, was being at the bottom of the order. He was getting on base more than the top. They flipped it around. I believe at one point they did a literal flip. Pallarino was leading off, and Hutchinson batted 9th. They flipped it for the next game. Now they're both hitting up at the top 1 and 2 as Pallarino now steps to the plate. Third time Hutchinson's been on base and it's without a hit. 2 walks and now a hit batsman. Doesn't matter how you get on. Big lead over at first as Hutchinson slides back in safely. Singled in the first, walked and scored in the fourth, did Pallarino. Watches strike one on the outside corner here. Again, coming up after the game, we'll have our GEM scoring recap, and we'll give our Maley Chiropractic play of the game, as well as our MVP Insurance MVP of the game. Another one lifted towards right, this one right at Kelly, and he'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. How about that defensive replacement late in the game? Go out there and shot a couple flies for me there.
Yeah, this is, it's interesting. You can step right in. It's always how it seems to work. Guy makes a great defensive play, then he's the first guy up in the inning, and then he ends up getting a base hit, and not the case here tonight. It's 2 straight outs.
First pitch swing is Cubelis, and it's fisted fouled on the third base line. Again, giving chase a couple of players, and somehow it comes right back in at the last second.
What, did Keller make a big-time jump off the plate to get after that?
Yeah, Keller got there right about the same time that Lake did. That was almost the exact same scenario, though, as the one that Keller couldn't quite get to behind the dish, as it looked like it was just going to go out of play, and at the last second squirted inside the fence. But 0-1 now the count. Cubelis, the starting pitcher, he ended up finishing with 5 2/3 innings. Fouls this one back. Struck out 4, walked 3, and is the pitcher of record right now for Neshannock. Trying to increase his 6-0 lead. Hutchinson off and running with the pitch, breaking ball down, and that's going to be the third swiped bag of the night. Hutchinson timed that one to perfection. 7th of the year.
He gets a lead like that, you can forget it. I mean, he is just too fast, and he really anticipates the throw to the plate as good as anybody you can see do it. Takes those big leads, almost dares you to go after him.
That one misses away. 2-2 now the count to Cubelis. When you have a smart base runner who's also that fast and is good at getting on base to begin with, lightning in a bottle there in the leadoff hole for the Lancers. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. The pitch to Cubelis, swung on and missed. First strikeout for Sam Landis in relief. Another runner stranded on the bags, no runs left. Last chance time coming for Ellwood City. They'll have the top of the order when we return. Lawrence County Baseball here at lcsportsnet.com.
That was awesome.
Looking for a unique way to expand your business? Advertise on the Lawrence County SportsNet and be seen by thousands of viewers in the area and around the country on over 100 broadcasts each year. Visit lcsportsnet.com and click Advertise with LCSN.
Top of the 7th, and it is the top of the order. 2 up for Ellwood City. Biscup, Lutz, and Keller. Jacob Biscup has been a tough man to get out today. 2 for 3 here on the evening.
And they've had chances, Ellwood City, tonight, but this is, it's obviously late in this one, but chances tonight, 10 left, and Neshannock with some fantastic defense, some good, better than good, but great base running in this game. A lot of fundamental things tonight for this Lancers team, and now they're going to try to close this thing out. And honestly, you know, if you're Ellwood City, you probably want a couple of those opportunities back. They just couldn't solve Cubelis, and then when they did put it in play, there was solid defense at the corner, particularly by Rin and the middle infield to shore things up.
Biskup singled in the first, singled in the fifth as well. Straining on the bags in both those innings. Watches the first pitch, strike one from Thomas Morrell in relief of Cubelis.
And a good job by him tonight, too, because coming into this tonight, one of the guys that had 8 strikeouts on this team and just 17 plate appearances, 2 hit by pitch, and then he's able to step into a couple of them tonight and get on base and get a couple of hits, and that might be enough to get him going here in the latter stages of the early part of the season, if that makes any sense.
0-2 pitch. Breaking ball just misses away. Good location on that breaking ball off the plate. Tough to say that, though. It's basically, next week is the midpoint of the section season.
It's scary to think about that, isn't it? I mean, it's the way it goes in this state. I mean, you started somewhat early, and you don't know what the weather's going to be like. And, heck, we had snow and sleet and hail last Friday. Games, you're trying to squeeze these things in, and a lot of times you don't see the teams play too much on the weekend, but there's occasionally those off games or makeups on the weekend.
2-2 pitch misses upstairs. I think we'll cross up there maybe between pitcher and catcher. Yeah, Newcastle baseball had a section doubleheader on Saturday against North Hills. The Indians victorious in both of those, unfortunately for Canes fans. Big pitch here, though. Payoff pitch, and we're wait for it.
Got to do what you got to do early on in the season. It's the way it is, and especially in western Pennsylvania, where 81 day and it could be in the 20s the next.
Payoff pitch lifted towards right center field. Eakin from right is going to settle under it and make the catch for the first out of the inning. One down in the top of the 7th.
See that all the time. You know, we'll get a nice stretch of weather through the end of April into May, and then you get into June in the state finals. And really, there's no perfect solution to it in this state. You know, Florida starts playing, I think, in late January, but you can do that down there when it's in the 50s and 60s.
First pitch swinging. Isaiah Lutz gets hit number 7 of the day for the Wolverines, his first.
And we don't have that luxury up here to to get it going early enough.
Most people don't like my solution. It's not perfect either, but the solution is you got to flip football and baseball season. You get better weather in the fall that you can start a season in August.
And you could play everything in any conditions in football too. It's the type of game that's meant to be played in that.
Fortunately, I don't think you'll be seeing that anytime soon.
Let's just get to regular scrimmages as opposed to 7-on-7s and things like that. Let's have actual true spring football in this state if we could do it. And
sounds great to me.
Have some spring games and have some preseason games, legitimate preseason games.
Oh, there is some spring football this year, though, actually. I think it's the 3rd year of its existence, the Girls Flag Football League going on in the spring. A cool new addition here in the state of Pennsylvania. And I think the league size has doubled in the last year, if I'm not mistaken there, Eric. That one downstairs, 2-0 the count to Jordan Keller.
And it's always tough when you get to June and those state semis and you got graduations and you got proms and, you know, sometimes you get teams where half the guys have already graduated but they're playing one final game.
This one's roped down the left field line. It'll be fair. Runners will hold up 90 feet at a time. I think Lutz probably could have made it to third base, but need a lot of runs. Coach Wise is not going to take any chances. Back-to-back singles, though. Sam Landis to the plate. Coach Q coming to the mound. Maybe we have another pitching change. Don't think we had anyone else warming up in the pen there, Eric.
No, it didn't look like it. And seeing that outfield once again, ball getting stuck. It's just basically dropping, and it's not going anywhere. And there we go. So we will have a pitching change, it looks like.
Jackson Latta, the lefty, is going to come in to try to finish this one off. For Neshannock, it's going to be a straight switch. Latta in to throw for Morrell. So Jackson Latta coming in, 3 2/3 innings thrown for him. This is his 4th appearance, again, all out of the bullpen. And Morrell was only at 13 pitches, but he is still good to again throw tomorrow. Game 2 scheduled for Ewing Park, Sanders Field tomorrow. I believe that's a 4:30. Yep, 4:30 scheduled start. Our friends at ECS will be there to help us out with that one. Can't say enough, though. Got to give a big shout-out to them for their coverage of Ellwood City, helping us out throughout the postseason. All the games going on, and they were able to step up and get a lot of those Ellwood City games covered throughout the course of the WPIAL and PIAA postseason. I think we got every single playoff game on the air, Eric, for the county teams in the winter season. That is, I didn't think that was going to be possible, but we made it happen.
3 straight weeks, running through it, and then some of us going to Hershey for the state finals. That was a fun 3 days. Saw a lot of good action out there for, especially the boys' 6A game. That was a great game to close things out.
A couple of out-of-town scores for you from the Newcastle Transit Authority. Remember, senior citizens ride for free. Ellwood City fans, you can cover your ears on this one. Mohawk 20, Ellwood City 1. That's an Ellwood City team that had scored 10-plus runs in every single game this year. Big win for Mohawk. That's a team that we're going to be keeping our eye on in the softball ranking, especially with that one. How about this one? Laurel going to the bottom of the 7th inning with a 7-6 lead over Olsh. First pitch from Latta in there for strike 1 to Sam Landis. Started in right field, now on the hill. Good block by Wilson behind the dish on that one. Count even at 1-1. Again, coming up after the game, we'll try to get we will get a scoring recap, give our awards, try to get maybe a quick conversation with Coach Q if Neshannock is able to hang on. This one go down and in, 2-1 to count. We'll ask the gentleman to our left, how short-winded will Coach Q be tonight? Will we get him on the air? Wow, nods of approval. Impressive. Latta kicks and delivers. This one misses away, so 3-1 now, the count to Landis. Lutz and Keller on second and first, respectively, with singles that chased Morrell from the game. Three and one. Down in the dirt, bounced in. So for the second time tonight, Ellwood City with the bags full, this time with one down. Aaron Lake stepping to the plate. Big Aaron Lake 1 for 3 on the evening. Second time Landis has reached on a walk, by the way. Another one downstairs, ball 1. So Morrell and Latta were both warming up at the same time. And now after that one downstairs, it's like more action getting ready to start warming up for Neshannock. 2-0. So first pitch thrown from Latta was a strike. 6 pitches straight since. Out of the zone. Down again, 3-0 the count. Now Aaron Lake wants to swing the bat, but Coach Wise is not going to give a take signal. He's going to yell, "Do not swing." Right down Broadway, count now 3-1. Lutz at third, Keller at second, Landis at first, one down in the top of the 7th inning. off the end of the bat and fouled back. Count now full. Good job by Latta. Falling down 3-0. Gets 2 straight strikes. Payoff pitch. Downstairs. RBI walk for the first run of the game for Ellwood City, and still some life for the visiting Wolverines. And I think we're going to get another trip to the mound. Toshiba RBI. Visit www.business.toshiba.com. Click Find a Dealer near you. So both teams are going to use 4 pitchers here tonight.
Probably not what you expected here late in this game.
Yeah, the way it was going.
Certainly, you know, not over yet, but Ellwood City trying to manufacture something here, trying to get something going here offensively, and they have another golden opportunity here and a base hit. You know, depending on where the base hit's at, James, because if it's up the middle, you know it's going to stop in the outfield short. If it's a fly ball to anywhere in the outfield that drops, it's going to stick right where it is. So we've seen a couple times guys be a little cautious on the base paths when those balls have been hit to the outfield as far as advance goes. So what kind of chance do you take with 1 out? You know, if something falls into like shallow center, shallow right, depending on the hitter. Ellwood City's got to be thinking kind of aggressive here regardless. If anything is put in play, try to get 2 across and keep the game alive.
So Jake Rind is going to go to the mound now for Neshannock. He moves from third to the mound. This will be his 3rd appearance on the bump this year. Valentine flips across the diamond from first to third. Jackson Biondi just checked into the game. He'll go to first. So Valentine at third, Biondi at first, defensively. And this is now a save situation officially as well. So tying run is in the on-deck circle. Jake Rinn, first pitch to Will Nardone downstairs for ball 1. Rinn winds and delivers. Inside corner. Evens the count at 1-1. Laurel leading Olsh in the bottom of the 7th, 7-6, but Olsh with the bases loaded will keep you abreast on that one. This one's down in the pebbles. Good block again by Wilson to keep everybody where they are. 2-1 the count. Ground ball towards third. Valentine throws to second for 1. On to first in time. A 5-4-3 double play to end it. And again, bases left loaded. Ellwood City able to get 1 in the top of the 7th inning. But they fall to Neshannock tonight. Final score of 6-1. We'll step aside, come back with your Tri-County Principals post-game show, give out some rewards, final stats and numbers, and maybe a quick word with Coach Q when we return on the Lawrence County SportsNet. It's powered by LCAP.
Thank you for calling AXE. Where can we take you today?
To work, to the store, to Grandma's house. AXE can get you there, but it's much more than a ride. It's a joyride.
I'm helping people. I'm getting them out of their house. I'm taking them to their doctors, to the grocery store.
They say I'm entertaining. Okay, we laugh, we joke, we sing, we tell stories.
They're like family to us.
Even if it's the same day, to schedule your joyride, call AXE today.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Madure and David Verratti want to provide you with the level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of the locations in Xenopleopole or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win. Proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County SportsNet.
Just like going to the doctor, our homes need a checkup too. If your home is not properly weatherized, you could be at risk for symptoms that cause unhealthy ailments and higher utility bills. The Weatherization Assistance Program is the key to reducing utility costs and increasing comfort in your home. Services include an in-home energy audit to inspect your furnace and hot water tank, check for air sealing around windows and doors, and ensure adequate insulation and ventilation. Learn more at lcap.org or call the Department of Healthy Homes to get your checkup today.
Final score here from Neshannock High School, a 6-1 victory for Neshannock, and Coach Caldero coming up to the booth to talk to us. We weren't going to wait for his five-hour-long post-game show. We want to get watching for the basketball championship, right, Coach? First, congratulations, got the big section win here tonight. Just talk about how you're feeling.
Yeah, so it's a difference of emotions here with this young ball club from last week. A rough start from their perspective, but they don't understand what I set them up for. Going into our non-conference schedule, you could agree with it or not, I actually called coaches that week because there was a couple on, and we added Amherst. I said, do you have your number one available? I want to see him. And then we grabbed Central Valley and moved them up. I said, is your number one available? I want to see him. And that kid's going to Seton Hill. We started out, 1-4, but at the same time, we were prepared, I think, more mentally in the box from seeing guys that are going to be top-level pitchers, in Quad A. And also, we go and play Mohawk, right? I mean, right off the bat, phenomenal baseball club that Nicky has, all the guys back. So I just told these guys, keep grinding. And what we did, to be honest with you, and they bought in, I'm going to give full credit to my coaching staff and these kids. We go into Johnny Sansone's place. Our team batting average is 165 with 45 Ks. Gentlemen, you did it your way. We're going to do it our way now. And we shortened them up, took away the long stride, come up with a tremendous game plan as far as the two-strike approach. I don't know how many strikeouts do we have tonight?
6.
Okay, we still a little bit, as far as for me, too much, but I've seen some guys grow in there. And being very unselfish and buying in, it's going to take a while. But, look, I told these guys don't ever count us out. We want to start playing right now because in this section you cannot – you don't have much more time to grow. They're a young ball club. I have 6 new starters out there. And we never make that excuse. But at the same time, if you look back at our scores, one bad inning a game cost us. And we're trying to clean that up. This is a short. Remember, we're going to enjoy this for about another 30 seconds when we get down there. Here's what happened last year. I'm just going to bring it back. Nardone's going to be on the bump tomorrow. And last year he beat us 2-1. Tomorrow's a huge section game for us. So this one's going to be over as soon as the lights go out. But going back to who do you give the ball to, I have some guys here that we're still playing around with, but I give it to Dom Caballas because Dom's my dog. Okay, Dom's pitched as a freshman. He pitched in the state championship game. He pitched in the quarterfinals of the states, and you see tonight what he did was attack the zone, and his pitch count got up towards the end there. Maybe a couple blue pits there, maybe an error, but Dom wanted to finish the game. He's our guy, and he came out in the biggest game right now of this season because it was a must-win. In April, early April, it's a must-win, and I gave the ball to Dom. So senior leadership as well, real quickly, with Boyd. Boyd worked so hard in the cages this week, and did he have 2 hits?
Yep.
Yeah.
And on base all 3 times.
On base 3 times.
Hey, wink, wink. He's our MVP of the game for today.
Yeah. And listen, another move. My coaches. Again, I couldn't do this without him. I'll keep saying it every interview because we sat down. And the first thing we did was self-evaluate. When you're 1-4, you're 0-2 in a conference, what could we do better? Well, we made a move. Jake Rinn played a freshman at third base. And it wasn't that we weren't confident anywhere else. We knew that Ellwood could put pressure. I wanted to have tremendous athletes on the corners and on the mound. And I think Jake probably had 5 or 6 put-outs over there. And I'm just so proud of the way that they responded. What a young club. It's a catch-22. You go out and play a tough schedule. Because Lakeview team we beat might have been one of the best teams we played. They're going to be there in the end, I believe, in the District 10. You could say, losing contagious too. But I think at the end of the day, we're going to be prepared for any team that we face moving forward.
For sure.
So.
Coach, you mentioned the athletes on your corners.
Yes.
So before tonight, 36 hits given up, 26 walks, 26 strikeouts. So it's about 50-50 guys getting on and you guys getting people out.
Yes.
When they're putting the ball in play, your corners, especially Jake tonight, ridiculous.
He's a dog. That's another one that's been playing since he's been 14 years old for us. And that's what you have to do. The lights come on, and this kid, if you watch him play basketball and anything that he competes in, his compete level just goes higher. Same thing with Giovanni, state hockey champion, state champion in hockey. Total team effort. Cole Hutchison, we made a move.
I wanted to talk about Cole,
man. Listen, this guy's on-base percentage is through the roof right now. And this is a sophomore that we weren't really counting on, other than on the mound. Matt Pellerino, he's automatic over there when the ball goes at shortstop, and he had great at-bats. And I'll end with this. Look, Hunter Wilson has nothing to show for in the box score.
Yeah.
He had quality at bat after he barreled.
He did, yeah.
All 3 of them.
And so we're getting closer with that.
Yep.
And again, this one's over. We know what they're going to be. Chris Wise does a phenomenal job. That's a really good baseball team that we beat tonight. And, that's why I didn't waste any more time at the end. Those young kids got in there. It's their first varsity action. And I said, we're not waiting another pitch. Jake. We're going to Jake. I don't know who I'm going to start tomorrow. We had to get through tonight. Win today.
Well, one out of the way. Go get the second one tomorrow. Best of luck, and we'll see you down the road.
Listen, and I have to say this again. I'll continue to compliment what you guys do, and I talked about it with these gentlemen here. We never had this. This is special. Parents or grandparents all over, wherever, family members being able to watch their kids play or their grandkids or family members, and just for them to know you guys are up here. So I appreciate you guys greatly.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Thank you, Coach. We'll see you down the road. And we appreciate you, by the way, allowing us to steal your Game Changer as well. We were broadcasting on Game Changer tonight,
Coach,
too.
Coach, maybe block you 4 times?
Only 3.
Okay. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach. That's Coach Q of the Neshannock Lancers. John Quilera, a 6-1 finish. That might be the quickest interview we've had with him, if you can believe that, Eric.
Man wants to get on to the next thing, and that's, I love how the WPIAL does the series, and these 2 teams will turn right around tomorrow and, weather permitting, do it again.
Yeah, weather permitting.
We'll see. That's what you got to say, pretty much like question mark throughout the whole month of April. But he's not wrong. I mean, that Ellwood City team is good. They tried very hard to get back in this game tonight. You just can't strand that many runners when you're going up against the type of pitching that might not strike you out but is going to induce those ground balls and get you out. That's tough to overcome.
Real quick, a Gem scoring recap. In the bottom of the first inning, Neshannock, a leadoff walk from Hutchinson, followed by a Pellerino single. They end up, Hutchinson scores on a sac fly from Jake Rinn, and then Boyd Kurtz with a RBI single that scored Dom Cubelis. And then Gio Valentine, an RBI double, bringing Kurtz in. 3-0 Neshannock after 1. Getting those runs early, absolutely huge. A couple of 2-out singles in the top of the second for Ellwood City, but both of them stranded. That's the name of the game. 13 stranded runners for the Wolverines here this evening. Neshannock would put 2 more runs up on the board in the third. A 1-out hit batsman. Rinn gets on base. Kurtz gets a single. And then They are both driven in by freshman Luka Neshannock getting his first hit of the season, bringing in those 2 runs, made the score 5-0 in favor of Neshannock at that point. And then another run in the 4th inning scored there by the Lancers, a RBI 2-out single from Dom Cubelis helping his own cause, driving in Palorino to make it 6-0. But then Ellwood City with chances in the 5th inning, bases loaded, a strikeout looking. Cubelis strikes out Landis to end that inning. And then in the last inning, they end up getting 2 hits in a row, followed by 2 walks. So 1 run comes in, but the 5-4-3 double play to get Nardone to end the game. And Rind, as a result, gets officially the save. Only faces 1 batter, but pitches 2/3 of an inning. He gets officially the save as a result. Cubelis the win on the mound. 4 walks, 3 Ks, 6 hits allowed. The losing pitcher, Owen Andrews, giving up 5 runs, all earned on 4 hits in his 2 1/3 innings pitch. Mentioned it, the MVP of the game, Boyd Kurtz on base 3 times today, 2 for 2, an RBI. Boyd Kurtz is your MVP Insurance MVP of the game. He'll get a customized t-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of today's MVP of the game award. Congratulations, Boyd Kurtz, your MVP Insurance MVP of the game. Call MVP for the win. Couple double plays in the game defensively for Neshannock, a diving catch in the outfield. Eric, all you. Which one you want to go for?
I don't know. Take your pick with Jake Rind on the third base side. I mean, he had 3 of 4 outs in one stretch there. I think you take your pick really of any that he was able to put together. I know it's tough to take away from a diving catch in the outfield, but I mean, it was time after time. It seemed like in that little mini stretch where he was just putting it out there and clean throws across the diamond to get outs. And when you, again, are not going to strike out a ton of batters. I know they haven't played a lot of games, but 26 strikeouts. Okay, so it's about 50-50 if guys are going to get on base or you're going to get them out. And a lot of times the reason why they're getting them out is because of the play of their infield, and Jake Rind's a big reason for that tonight. So I'll say his defensive plays, all 3 of them really, if you want to say that, tonight's defensive play of the game.
Yeah, I'm down with all that, and also throwing the fact he did get the save in the end, too. That's a big part of the game coming in with that. So Jake Rind will get the Maley Chiropractic play of the game. He'll also get a customized t-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of today's Maley Chiropractic play of the game. And Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game. Gio Valentine's also going to get his shirt, by the way, as the March Red Zone LGKG Athlete of the Month. Your final line score in Neshannock with 6 runs on 6 hits. They left 6 on base with 1 error. Ellwood City 1 run on 8 hits, also 1 error, but they left 13 runners on the bag. Game 2 tomorrow, 4:30. Our friends at ECS will have the coverage of that one. We'll keep you tuned on that. If you're still listening, tuning in for the Laurel game, they fall in the bottom of the 7th inning. Scores 2 to win that one 8-7. That game 2 will be back at Laurel tomorrow. We'll keep tabs. Make sure you keep following us on Facebook and on X as we have all of those scores and box scores coming in throughout the game. Now, you stay tuned. Wednesday, we'll have Neshannock at Shenango softball action coming your way. Eric, glad you could be coming our way up here to Lawrence County for some night action. Hopefully we get a couple more night games for you.
Let's do it. It was a beautiful night tonight under the lights, not too cold for April. You would take that any time, and there's a beautiful setting here tonight. Great feel. Let's hope they get that outfield when they can maintain it so it's a little bit more of an even playing surface for those guys in the outfield. Otherwise, great facility, and it was good to be under the lights here tonight.
Absolutely great. Make sure you stay tuned again, and we'll have plenty more coming your way on the Lawrence County SportsNet. For our producers tonight, Josh Toman and Aaron Vigiano, my broadcast colleague, Mr. Eric Thomas, I'm James Dotson saying so long, and stay tuned. More great action coming your way on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.